So as you can see here, as the panhandle comes in, this is usually going to be strong conservative. So yeah, you're going to have your big cities, Miami, Orlando, Tampa. They're going to slightly lean Democrat, but Florida, with the current margin right now for Trump, it's pretty safe to say that Trump is going to win Florida. I think that's why even mainstream news is admitting that. Georgia, it's kind of the same scenario. When you look at what's going on in Georgia, I mean, the only thing to watch here, this should be good for Trump. These two counties right here are going to be for Biden. So where are you going to have, but I don't think they can make up the margin in these two counties for Biden that he's down right now. Last I checked, he was down a couple 100,000 votes. So if this pace continues, Trump will win Georgia. Okay, now he's got Georgia. You go up to North Carolina, and where it's been within 100,000 now for about an hour in North Carolina. In fact, it's actually odd. Now they're saying, I'm getting conflicting numbers on the amounts coming in, but if you go into North Carolina here, you can see that it's pretty much what you would expect. Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh, Fayetteville, these are your Democrat strongholds. Up here near Virginia, you're going to have a little bit. But if the trend continues, they don't want to admit that Trump won North Carolina yet, because if they say that, Biden's path to victory is going to be a real tough one, especially if we zoom out here again, guys, especially if, look at the current status of Iowa, especially if this trend continues, and now let's go over to Montana, and if this trend continues. Biden needed those two states. They seem irrelevant. I think maybe 9 electoral votes between the two, 6 in Iowa, 3 in Montana. Biden needed that 9. He needed it desperately because right now, like I said, Wisconsin and Michigan and North Carolina, Georgia, plus with Iowa and Montana, that gives Trump over the hump of 270. So they're going to, I mean, their only plan at this point is delay Pennsylvania, delay Georgia.
And they can only hope they win Texas. Yeah, you're right. Wow, this is huge.
They can't win Texas. There's no way they're going to win Texas. Guys, zoom into Texas here. They've pretty much got most of their returns in Houston and Austin. Fort Worth did pretty good for Trump. So we'll have to maintain. I mean, these two,
by the way,
this is a little dangerous. I'll be honest. This is a little dangerous out here, but there's still going to be conservative strongholds around here, south of Fort Worth and Dallas, that should, I think, probably mitigate whatever late night additions that Biden is going to have here south of New Mexico and the border of Texas. I think it should come out about even with these Democrat counties versus the remaining Republican counties. So I think it's safe to say, I think Trump is going to win Texas.
I'm just sad that Texas is as close.
It's going to be narrow. I mean, it's going to be within 1 million votes for sure, maybe a couple 100,000. But I do think, guys, let me see Arizona here real quick. Let's just get a quick update because it does look like Biden is doing well there.
Before you leave Texas, let me interject here. I was going to get something to eat, and I heard the NPR university radio system, and they were saying, if 4 years of Trump can't turn Texas blue, what do we do? They were not happy. So that tells you something right there.
So you heard panic.
Yeah. I heard panic. Yeah, they're panicking. Absolutely panicking. And of course, that's the other thing too. We saw all these people dumping all of the, you saw signs of panic throughout the Democrats and throughout the Biden campaign at the last minute. They didn't appear to be very confident, certainly not as confident as all the pollsters were.
Yeah, they're definitely lusting for Texas, David. They're drooling for Texas, and I don't think they're going to get it yet. They tried to run the Beto sham on us, and it didn't work. So it is embarrassing that
Beto
it's
helped turn it red.
Yeah, I mean, it is embarrassing that it is even this close, but yet what they've done to Austin.
Well, I just say I've never been on the edge of my seat like this.
In fact, if you want to see how bad it is, guys, zoom into Austin here real quick. I mean, this is embarrassing. Guys, click into the Austin County here. Click into Travis County. It's a joke. Oh, we can't go zoom into the counties? Okay, well. If you want to look into how bad it is,
look at this.
Travis County is so pathetic that we couldn't even have people go vote for Donald Trump today. It's really embarrassing, quite frankly, in the capital of Austin. But that's all right, guys. Zoom back out. Let me look real quick, and then we'll send it back to you, Harrison, David, and Alex, and then I'll get some updates on some numbers. Let me get a real quick look at Wisconsin to see just the numbers, guys. Yeah, just leave it right there. This is really looking really good for President Trump, I think. It's very narrow. Guys, zoom into Wisconsin real quick. Let's see what it's looking like in Madison. Okay, so yeah, I mean, where it stands right now, it's going to be a tight one, but they've already got all the returns from their big liberal strongholds like Madison and Milwaukee. And so I think, this is going to be a tight one to watch here. So the ones to watch right now are Wisconsin. He should still be up big in Michigan. Guys, let's look at the numbers real quick in Michigan before we zoom back out here. Can I get the vote total? Let's see here. Yeah, Trump's still up over 300,000 in Michigan. That's looking good. He's extending his lead in Ohio as well, up almost to 500,000, almost fully reporting in Ohio. They may have to declare that pretty soon. Let's take a look at the Pennsylvania still. Up over 500,000 in Pennsylvania. That's good. So, I mean, you got to consider, let's say there's 2 million mail-in ballots for Biden. And let's say at best, it's going to be a 1.5 million advantage. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of shenanigans they run in the mail-in ballots.
I agree, Owen. We're going to go to Roger Stone right now, who's out of his chair. We'll be back in a minute. We are in such an epic moment, though, Owen, and David Knight. David Knight, what would you call this moment historically? Because, I mean, this is so epic. This is so nail-biter right now.
Yeah, it's very close. And again, Roger's going to be joining us here, and he was at the center of everything that was happening in Florida. But I remember that dragging on through Thanksgiving. I remember they're still fighting about that Thanksgiving. So, this is pretty amazing. It's been a big reversal, a total discrediting of the mainstream media and all the pollsters yet again throughout all this.
So you're seeing a Trump victory in these numbers?
It looks like it, doesn't it? I mean, certainly, it's been a total defeat for them. Whatever happens at this point, look at how wrong they were about everything for so long. And it was a total propaganda operation, frankly. When you look at these polls, and I've been saying, these are, for the most part, I think, push polls at this point. They can get the answer that they want, and they can try to use that to create a narrative, and I think that's exactly what they were doing.
I totally agree.
Interesting to see what
Roger Stone from right there in Trump's district in Florida. Roger, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Tell us what you think is currently happening.
Well, Alex, this is an agonizing moment because we're sitting here, and I believe sometime in the next half hour to 45 minutes, we're going to know the story. I'm disturbed that Arizona has been called by some of the fake news networks for Joe Biden, but my contacts in Arizona tell me that they have moved prematurely. They still believe we will squeeze Arizona, land of Barry Goldwater, out. Therefore, I'm not going to throw it away in my mental calculation quite yet. We have no results from Nevada, which should be competitive. Early on, there were some indications that Ohio was problematic. That has been clarified. The president will carry the Buckeye State, another keystone in our drive to victory. Florida, where we were outspent almost 8-1, the president's incredible personal, physical, superhuman effort paid off there big time. And the Sunshine State is now in place. We need Michigan, Wisconsin, and those two need to fall in place, as well as Pennsylvania, for us to know the story tonight. And we're on the edge of our seats. It would be premature for anyone to call the election. I do find it almost comical, the posting on Twitter today by the New York Times saying that
I call bullshit on the Biden.
They have the right to declare the winner. That's a joke. They have no formal role whatsoever in determining who the president is.
Well, Roger, let's stop right there, though, because that shows us her mindset. They have said that only 7 groups, ABC, CBS, NBC, AP, Fox News, a few others, can declare the victors. And so they're saying that up front. What is their plan in that? They have plan A, we talked about it on my show earlier today, to say that he wins, Biden wins, with no evidence. They have plan B to drag it out. What are you seeing right now?
Well, the only reason that proposal seems viable is the fact that they have censored so many of us on social media, on the internet. You can't run a psyop if people have an alternative to which they can tell the American people the truth. They realized that in 2016 they made a giant mistake.
No, that's right. So if Trump loses tonight by fraud, it's his fault for not fighting censorship.
Well, you could say that, but you could also say the fight is not over because the president's a brawler.
I agree. The fight's not over, but you're right. It comes down to that.
It's very hard to understand why no one in the Trump Justice Department understood the importance of a level playing field, and
The
that no one at the
problem in the Trump
DOJ
Justice
sought
Department is
to
the majority of
enforce
them are from the
antitrust
old
laws
days,
against
and
Twitter
they're
and
It's all that
crooked
big
little
Facebook.
tech money.
bitches.
He lived it up real good.
That's a big part of it. But then the Trump Justice Department was never the Trump Justice Department. It was the Obama Justice Department with Bill Barr at the head of it. They sought to destroy me. They
Barr
sought
started
to
off
destroy
doing
that
really
great
good and
American
then turned
patriot,
around and fucked us.
General Michael Flynn, one of the greatest Americans it's ever been my privilege to know. They are epically corrupt.
And
And
by
it's
the
not
way, I don't bring
surprising.
myself into this thing like a victim. They have had some Justice Department enjoyment with us as well. They've gone out for everybody.
I understand that. Right now, unbelievably, they had Hunter Biden's laptop for 8 months, 9 months. They did nothing, but right now
Of
they're
course
running
not.
an investigation into Michael Caputo. Michael Caputo, the former Trump aide, a great pal of mine, a great American who, as you know, has been stricken with brain cancer, is struggling for his life. Meanwhile, FBI agents are out in the field asking questions about him when Mike Caputo has done nothing whatsoever wrong. So they ignore the crimes of Hunter Biden, but they're focusing in on a man who's fighting to save his life and who's a great American patriot. Something's wrong with this picture, but I think the president will fix this if reelected.
Wow, so Caputo, who they tried to indict, who's a patriot, who warned about the takeover, he's got brain cancer?
Yes, Michael Caputo has taken a leave from the Trump administration because he has been diagnosed with brain cancer. He's fighting for his life. Those who want to help can go to GoFundMe right now. There's a GoFundMe account set up by Carl Palladino, the Republican candidate for governor in New York,
The world's
the chairman of the
ending.
Trump campaign in New York, a great American patriot, Carl
Telling you,
Palladino,
telling
one
you.
of my strong supporters in my epic
We're supposed to
struggle
have
for
an
freedom and
asteroid
liberty.
go over
But
Earth
Michael
tonight
Caputo needs our help,
during the
folks.
election.
He's still a government employee. He's taken a leave of absence.
World's
Let's be
ending,
clear,
man,
he went
guys.
through hell supporting Trump. He was a major
Well,
patriot. They tried to set up turning against Trump. He has brain cancer now. That's horrible news.
Yeah, and Alex, the sad part is that even though he has government insurance, that does not cover all of the procedures that he needs to fight his brain cancer. So we need to pray for him. Number one. Number two, we need to come to his aid. Go to GoFundMe, find the Mike Caputo Cancer Cure Fund set up by Carl Palladino, and please help. I'm helping. Alex, I know
There's
you'll
so
help.
much shit
We
to
need
do
Yeah,
when
he's
you're
been,
setting
he's
this
been a
stuff
great
up.
patriot.
Oof,
But
tell
he
ya.
didn't even
If
build
it
that
wasn't
up.
an
They tried to
election,
frame him as a Russian
we just
agent.
stop it
He
and
was a stalwart. They
do other
probably gave
things.
him that damn cancer. My God. I mean, you know,
Well,
he took
as
care
you
of,
know, he went.
no, he took
He
care
went.
of McCain too. But you know, I mean, they shouldn't do it back to us.
Well, he went to work for the president on the COVID-19 factor. He became a real enemy of the deep state because they fear the truth coming
Yeah,
out
now
about
he's
COVID.
got brain cancer.
And now he has brain cancer. I'm not making any aspersions as to how he get it. I'm only praying fervently for his recovery. He's a great man. He's a great friend of mine. He and I were prohibited by the court from speaking for almost 2 years for no reason whatsoever. No reason other than the fact that they wanted to deny me the wise counsel.
Everybody else sits out there. I'm not being mean to listeners, but like, oh, this and that. We're in the arena. This is real stuff.
Yeah.
And boy, I tell you, the cancer rate with Patriots is very high.
Well, Alex, we are praying for him. In the meantime, we're in this agonizing hole where we're waiting for one of the other big pieces to fall into
Yeah.
place.
So you're there watching numbers. I'm sure you have a TV up. What's the latest numbers? How's Trump doing?
Latest numbers.
You know what? We just don't have enough information to say, and we have some information that seems to be contradictory to the projection. So, for example, a number of the networks have projected Virginia for Joe Biden. Yet, with more than 50% of the vote in, the president is leading, and it appears that Mark Warner, one of the most corrupt members of the U.S. Senate, just an epic deep state criminal, they've declared him the winner, but all the counts I've seen show him behind. So it remains to be seen. Virginia still up for grabs, in my opinion. We're waiting desperately for one of these other big pieces to fall into place. Early indications from Michigan are very positive. That you have the Republican candidate there, James, seeming to break out of the pack, and I think he's going to pick up a seat. Cory Gardner lost in Colorado, a good, solid libertarian Republican. The president should have come out for the taking cannabis off the Schedule 1 list, as Cory Gardner urged him to do. I think it might have made a difference, but the president still carried Colorado despite the loss of Senator Gardner. The Trump train continues to roll.
I was about to say, how epic is it? Roger Stone, David Knight, Owen Schroyer, we're all here like we were 4 years ago. It's just so insane. Roger, check in with us in an hour. We'll really appreciate you.
Absolutely, Alex. Look, the most important question of election 2020 is whether Owen Schroyer is going to pay off the bet that he still owns from 2018, or whether he's going to. Well, I'm waiting for my steak.
What is that bet?
First of all, I got the steak dinner, but you know, this is like a Democrat trying to steal an election after the results are in. So, but you know what? I will say this: Roger Stone, without a doubt, for my betting purposes, is the #1 political analysis I've ever seen. That's why I am curious, Roger, to see what happens in Arizona, which looks strong for Biden right now. You're saying, hey, not so fast.
You know, I love to tease you, Owen, but you know I love you. Nobody was more stalwart in their support for me and my ordeal. Nobody prayed more fervently. Nobody else gave me wise counsel like Owen Schroyer. He's a great American, and we just like to tease each other. But Owen, I think Arizona has been called prematurely.
Okay.
I'm very surprised by this early call, but it may be part of the PSYOP, maybe part of the mainstream media effort to weave a false narrative.
Well, yeah, get ready to hit delayed. No shit, Sherlock. It's obvious.
Well,
Pennsylvania, Arizona.
I
said that an hour ago. That's the key deal.
I haven't done the micro analysis of Arizona yet, but I do have an update, guys, on the 3 key races right now. Let's start in Wisconsin. It's looking good for Trump. The victory margin is narrowing, but if you go into Wisconsin here, guys, you'll notice the 2 counties that it looks like maybe they're just now reporting they were right here. In fact, guys, zoom back out. Let me get an updated number of this, because Trump's lead may have just increased in Wisconsin. Let me see this, guys. Pull this up for me, please.
We'll just do this.
Okay, so he's up by over 100,000, so it did extend a little bit. I think this looks good for Trump. Now, if we go down here to North Carolina, I have to tell you I'm a little concerned. Guys, let's zoom in real quick. The lowest reporting precincts right now are Fayetteville and Charlotte. Heavy Democrat precincts. This is a tiny margin right now in North Carolina. I'm a little afraid with Fayetteville and Charlotte numbers still coming in. We're going to have to be careful here and watch North Carolina. Now, if we go down to Georgia, I think it's pretty much good news, because if we go down to Georgia, guys, zoom in. Let me see if they've counted these. Okay, if you look here, the only one that they're not getting numbers in is, I believe this is Hancock County, which did go for Hillary Clinton in the last election, but it's a very small district. It's not going to be enough to change the overall numbers. Let's zoom back out. Let me see the overall numbers of Georgia right now. Let's see here, guys. Go ahead and look at
One viewer.
So, yeah, okay, so Trump's still leading, pretty safe, 300,000 in Georgia, but they said they want to delay that. Now, if Roger's analysis, as it has been from my experience all the time, is right about Arizona and that's still in play, then potentially you could see North Carolina slip and Trump get Arizona, though, and you could recover that. But, again, if he wins Wisconsin, if he wins North Carolina, if he wins Georgia, that's Trump's path to victory tonight. Looking solid in Iowa. Montana's kind of going back and forth. We'll have to see. Looking solid in Michigan. But Trump's path to victory. Georgia, North Carolina, Wisconsin, that's still Trump's path to victory for right now.
And we have an update in Virginia as of just a few minutes ago. Suddenly, and out of nowhere, about 500,000 votes came in, all for Joe Biden. So Joe Biden now leads President Trump by a little over 200,000
that was going to happen.
votes.
Yeah, I call bullshit.
The trunk. For old dumbass.
To be honest, I call bullshit.
Roger, what do you make of this disastrous news?
Look, let's not overreact to that. Virginia went for Hillary Clinton. It was expected to go for Joe Biden. This is not monumental. Perhaps the timing of it is important, because it's meant to create a psychological bandwagon effect. But Harrison Smith coming in with a solid necktie tonight, has just given us, I think, very important news.
We the people,
getting
thank you,
close
Roger.
to the wire.
Virginia's not looking too good. Texas still holding, and Trump's lead increasing there.
I mean, who believes Texas is really for Democrats? Give me a break. This is a goddamn fraud.
Alex, let's be candid. Texas is changing demographically. It's changing in terms of its makeup. It has been trending towards the blue. Uh, let's remember that Ted Cruz, your senator, made it by the skin of his teeth against the odious Beto O'Rourke, a gun
that's
grabber,
only
a gun
because
grabber in
the
Texas.
Yeah, he
fucking
barely won against a literal demonic
liberals that
retard.
fucked
Yeah, well,
California
if you look at
are now
California,
realizing
that
they
used to be
fucked
red. It
themselves,
changed blue
so
because
now
of
they're running to
demographics.
freaking
Virginia, as the New York Times
California.
reported.
Why don't they just move to Venezuela then?
That's a great question, but Virginia went blue because of demographics, and now Texas is going blue because of demographics, which really emphasizes just how important tonight is. Because if Joe Biden gets in and gives amnesty to every illegal immigrant, Texas won't just be blue next time; it'll be blue for the rest of time. So, I mean, this is America's head in the guillotine right
I agree.
now,
David,
and we're
nice
just waiting
jump
to
in
see if the lever drops.
Talking about Virginia, I've interviewed a guy there who's working on a political project there to try to get more local control. He pointed out that the GOP in the 2018 election didn't even field enough candidates in Virginia to have control of the House. Even
I went and voted today. Over 40% of the candidates, there was no one running against them.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then there's another thing that happened this year in Virginia. Back in March, before all this lockdown started, they introduced a bill, and the Republicans supported it in the House even, that would extend the election, the collection of ballots 3 days after the election. They did that back in early March before the lockdown happened.
So they were getting ready for this.
Yeah.
So let's get the tape. Owen Schroyer, Roger Stone, Harrison Smith, David Knight, your predictions, call it out tonight. I think Trump wins tonight.
If I had to make a call right now, I mean, you can't even call Pennsylvania, sadly, because they've already said they're going to delay it, even though Trump is doing very well. Boy, I mean, North Carolina is going to be tough. But if they announce Georgia and Wisconsin, that gives Trump 259 in my book, and Montana and Iowa. So that means all he would need is one of the states, Arizona, North Carolina, or Pennsylvania. Trump is still leading in North Carolina as we speak, but man, oh man, that is a narrow, tiny sliver, less than 100,000 votes in North Carolina, with them still coming in the Democrat strongholds of Fayette County and Charlotte. So, but if Trump wins North Carolina, that's a big, that everything is kind of hinging. The next moves are all kind of hinging on what happens in North Carolina right now. I'm interested though, Alex, you talk about the fraud in Texas. I look at, for example, Williamson County, where Biden is beating Trump right now.
No, Williamson County's super right wing. That is ridiculous.
Exactly, because Trump beat Hillary Clinton soundly in Williamson County. Now they have almost double the votes in Williamson County, and somehow Biden is ahead. Literally, so double the votes in Williamson County, and Biden is ahead.
Well,
so, I mean, there's your hotbed of fraud.
That's just north of Austin. That's where the lakes and all the real nice real
could see
estate
that
is.
being
So
a
that's where the
ton of fraud.
Californians are moving to, no doubt. And they're bringing their...
Yeah, but I mean, Williamson County's super right wing. That's like saying like Idaho just voted Democrat.
Williamson County went for Biden, Alex. It's even though it went big for Trump soundly in 2016, it's going for Biden this year. But again, they had more than double the voter turnout, so magically they had over 100,000 new voters.
Well, let's get the political expert Roger Stone's numbers. What the hell do you make of this, Roger?
I haven't had a chance to study it, but I do have concerns about the Texas Republican Party. That's why I have urged Chad Prather to challenge your governor, Governor Abbott, who seemed like a good guy until he went all in on the COVID shutdown, because we need Trump Republicans running the Texas Republican Party, not Bush Republicans. And I worry about being undermined by the Republican establishment in the country club precincts of Texas, like in Harris County, for example. But look, at the end of the day, I really firmly believe the president will carry Texas, that Texas will not fall to the leftists, and we should not get distracted from Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. Those are the states that I think, in North Carolina, which control the fate of the president. We could still see a callback of Arizona. I think they've moved prematurely. I'm praying that is the case. Let's watch carefully.
Yeah, and I'd also like to point out, too, as I'm kind of micro-analyzing Minnesota, Let's not call Minnesota yet either. There's 0 returns in Morrison County, Benton County, Sherburne County, North.
All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Owen, let's talk about this.
I'm live.
Roger Stone, as a political analyst, we were here 4 years ago together. By 11 o'clock at night, it looked like Trump was going to win. What are you really thinking right now? Is Trump winning or is Trump losing?
I'm still cautiously optimistic, Alex. Minnesota, I think the violence in Minneapolis has backfired very badly on the Democrats. I still think Minnesota is within our grasp. That is not a state we carried 4 years ago, I don't believe. That would change the overall calculus. All I can tell you right now, Alex, is the mail-ox is being passed around at Biden headquarters. They know the jig is up. We've already proven.
Say that again. What's being passed around?
The mail-ox.
What the fuck is a mail-ox?
Your listeners.
I got it. The heartburn, yeah.
Pepto-Bismol. You get it. The point, of course, is that we were told this was a blowout. That Trump wasn't even close. That he was going to get slaughtered in all of these states. He was going to lose Florida. He was going to lose.
And so now they're going with Plan B. That all these states, it's going to take weeks. They're going Plan B right now. That's good news. Shows they didn't try to seal it day one. Then hopefully Plan B is being launched. Then we can beat that. How do we beat Plan B when they try to keep these states open forever? And the communists are already rioting and running around, foaming at the mouth.
Well, look, Donald Trump is still the president until January 20th. He still has extraordinary powers. He has taken an oath to protect the safety and security of the American people from enemies, both domestic and foreign. So he has the power to put down an insurrection. Let me be very clear yet again. We renounce violence. We are not for violence. We're Americans. We don't settle things through violence. BLM, Antifa, they are the violent ones. They're the ones who burn down cities already. They're the ones who are moving pallets of bricks around.
I agree, but I mean, obviously people should vote for Trump. Obviously Trump's winning. Look at the numbers right now. Several of us blocking their election. What do you really think is going on?
Well, I can't believe the bullshit, dude. But then again, this is the same type of bullshit they pulled when Trump was running in 2016.
I think the president's going to pull
if
this
a sleepy
out.
motherfucker that can't talk and stutters everywhere can win the fucking election, that right there would be the death of fucking America.
Operate on the basis of information, and as of right now,
motherfucker was like, blue, blue, good care.
All right, we'll check back with you very soon. Roger Stone of the Stone Cold Truth.
But again, this is the same shit that happened in 2016 when they said Hillary Clinton was going to fucking win. And then if Trump does win, we'll have the riot. If Trump does win, we're going to have the fucking
we don't have the information yet. You know, because
the bullshit that we had for the last fucking 3 years.
Another year and a half. You know, so he does have a crystal ball. But this is why I feel bad about
10 years.
Oh yeah, this is why I feel bad about this election and why I'm not certain about it. And that is because we've had all these different places where they have extended it. They said, well, you know, we can keep accepting mail ballots, you know, for several more days. Everything that every scam that the Democrats have always used to rig elections, to not have just one election day or even 2 or 3 election days, right? Which is what they do in some countries. They have elections on a Saturday and Sunday to give everybody a chance to vote. You could do something like that, but they want to stretch it out for weeks. I saw this happen in North Carolina. Stretch it out for weeks. You make sure you don't have any identification for voters. And now they've added all the drive-through voting, the instant registration, and the extension of the election. Every trick in the book has been rolled out on this, except for, you know, I don't know how much electronic voting machine tampering is figuring into this. I mean, they've kind of focused on the mail aspect of this time around. But this is why I don't really have any projections as to what's going to happen. I think it is going to be a slow walk on this.
Owen Schroyer, I'm super exhausted at this point. I've been up since 5 a.m. But we're here on air.
Come on, Alex. Be strong, my guy.
Owen Schroyer, Harrison Smith, what's happening?
I have some updates
Come on,
here just from
video.
across the nation. Unlawful assembly has been declared in L.A., so there are protesters gathering in L.A., and of course, D.C., they're attacking cameramen and members of the press there in D.C. as things have started to heat up. In terms of the race, you've got Oregon becoming the first U.S. state to decriminalize possession of all drugs, including cocaine, heroin, and meth for personal use. So now we'll see meth encouraged Antifa.
Hunter Biden just invested in property.
Yeah, Hunter Biden moving to Oregon, perhaps.
So, what's the latest election news?
Sure, CNN has called Ohio for Trump, and Fox has called Texas for Trump. According to Tom Elliott, Trump needs Iowa, Wisconsin, and then either Pennsylvania or Michigan, and then it's over, and he's currently leading in all 4 of those places. So Texas has been called by Fox News. CNN has called Ohio, both for Trump. So things are looking good there. And, I mean, as far as I can tell, the return numbers have basically stalled out. We're at Florida's at 96%, Texas 88%, Pennsylvania 54%. I've been watching these for about 30 minutes, and they've all stayed at that percentage. So I don't know if they're all just not counting votes anymore, or things are just taking a little bit longer. But everything seems to have sort of slowed down here on this razor's edge.
What's up, little
that's
kitty?
the question I have,
Just
Harrison,
Goku, everybody.
If you've got this open-ended thing where they can keep bringing in mail ballots, I mean, how do they, is that the game that they're going to play to say that we can't call this because we don't know what's in the mail? The election is in the mail.
Well, we have Robert Barnes retweets this. Pennsylvania already saying it's going to take longer than anticipated to count their ballots, not on pace to finish by
How you doing?
Friday. So they're expecting not to get results from Pennsylvania until at least Friday, at the earliest Friday.
And by the way,
I got band.video, and I'm live streaming it on my YouTube channel.
Key states to claim the ballots haven't been
I'm
counted.
live streaming Alex Jones.
I'm super tired.
Yeah, they're going to say it's ambiguous. We don't
know.
No, how can you say what percentage of the votes are in?
Okay.
You don't always see that. What percentage of the votes are in? Well, they don't know.
Oh, all right. Well, right now he's still sitting on the seat.
We've got new people that are showing up in the country all the time. They're allowed to vote.
I'm on his band.video live stream for the election. I figure
So,
I don't want to live stream all the other guys. I'd rather live stream him since he's the one that got banned off the YouTubes and stuff.
Again, we're watching the next returns that we get from North Carolina.
And then Matt texted me,
we haven't really had
and then I was
updated
trying to
numbers
get a
in
hold
North
of Matt,
Carolina
but
for a
he's
while.
not
The
answering.
next numbers we get from North Carolina are going to be very telling as to whether or
I'm kind
not
of butthurt.
we can declare Trump a victor there. It's been a while since we've had updated numbers, but once
And I'm
we
telling
get
you from watching these things that in these urban areas
didn't
that
answer
are
his
going to go
phone.
Democrat, they're holding this back. It's like, show me your hand. Okay, how many more these have? Call up the guy who's got the voting machine in the back of his trunk, and let's generate some more ballots. I mean, that's what I have seen out of these urban areas everywhere I've lived. I lived in North Carolina. I think that's what they're going to do.
early returns in Nevada, which are still very early. We'll have to watch Nevada. It's the 6 electoral votes. Could be inconsequential. Could be important.
They just called an unlawful assembly.
A combination of a couple different things right now, but it's obvious.
But the point is, last year, or 4 years ago, we were here. We kind of knew by now what was happening. When did we know Trump was winning 4 years ago? When was it, David?
Yeah,
it was.
They tried calling Texas.
No, it was
They
early.
tried calling Texas for.
It was earlier than that. But you didn't have this whole thing about extending the deadline by 3 days and holding it open for mail ballots that we don't know how many are out there that are coming back in.
Yes, they knew by like 11:30, right?
That's what I was saying. I was like, California is massive. Unless they just said, screw everybody, we're going blue regardless of what you vote for.
Gives them an opportunity to create chaos and confusion.
There's no way they called it.
Josh Shapiro is going to be a household name in the next 45 hours. That's the Attorney General of Pennsylvania. He's a criminal.
Yeah, Pennsylvania saying they're going to stop counting votes until tomorrow. So that tells me they're going to be hunting down all the crooked votes.
The Attorney General of the Attorney General of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, is a criminal, and he needs to be seriously investigated for what he's doing in Pennsylvania. If you didn't have these BS mail-in ballots,
that right there just tells me that they're going to be bringing in a shit ton of dead people.
All the news, like, we're going to count every ballot.
You know, just to let you know, I have you next to my microphone, so you're live on my YouTube channel.
He makes a declaration because he's the Lord. He says they're sending people to every post office to make sure every mail-in ballot is tabulated and counted. So Look, I think everybody knows the writing on the wall. We're going to have to wait and see some final numbers here, but it's looking like a Trump victory. So they're just going to say, wait, no, you can't declare. So it's everything we predicted.
Not yet.
It's
Not yet.
These
He's
people are
still
so
he's still with
predictable in their
David
criminal
Knight
behavior that we
and
can sit here
I agree,
and they
Owen
sign
Schroyer
Let's
and the
walk
other
through the
dude
numbers.
are
Oh, my
sitting
God.
because
Steven
I guess
Crowder
Owen Schroyer and the other
is
guy are
literally
doing
on
the
video
electoral
right now on
map.
the live feed. We're about to go to him right now and get his take on all
Oh
of
wait,
this.
he just brought it
Biden
up.
with Crowder is ready to go to us.
Oh, Crowder is going on his show too.
Oh, he's ready right now.
You know, the thing is,
Now he's
Trump has
brushing his
done so
teeth.
well.
Distorted audio I get. Is Steven Crowder ready to go with us? All right, he's almost ready. Go ahead, David.
Right, I like
is
Crowder.
that-
He's
that
cool.
Trump
He's
has
my favorite
outperformed
Canadian, but
their
he's really not
predictions so
Canadian.
much that he's in striking distance and within fighting distance.
He's American
on
that
this,
was forced to
legal
live in
warfare, the lawfare
Canada.
that they're going
I
through.
agree. Despite all the fraud,
That's right.
all the insanity, he's like taking their own.
Pop
And
on,
again,
pop
you know,
on
look
my
at what the
video.
crowds are
You'll see
showing
all
us.
my Trump
You know,
flags.
at one point, I think it was about a week and a half ago, totaled it up.
Use Matt's phone because I sent him a link to it, to the live stream.
Virus scare. And Biden had about 600 at that point in time. I mean, that's a ridiculous ratio.
Can we punch up Steven Crowder? He's dancing in front of the camera right now, brushing his teeth, okay? I just want to get that on tape.
Oh,
There he is.
Crowder's back.
He's putting his headset on right now.
So there have been a couple more states called. Reuters just called Montana for Trump.
Montana's for Trump.
Georgia has been called for Trump by
Montana's for Trump. Georgia's for
outlets.
Trump.
Trump wins Georgia. Fox has actually called back its Arizona call.
You were talking about that.
Yeah, Fox called back to
Roger.
Arizona.
And here's a statement about Arizona. They say it's far too early to call the election in Arizona. Election day votes are not fully reported, and we haven't even started to count
Okay,
ballots.
let's go.
They
to
ain't
Steven
finished the
Crowder
counting
right
in
now.
Arizona.
You guys. Steven Crowder, we appreciate you being with us at 11,
Yeah.
12 Central Time, Texas time.
It's my live stream.
I appreciate you being with me. Yeah, I'm not on your show. You're on my show.
Yeah, if you check it out, you can see all the Trump flags and stuff behind
No,
you.
say you piece of filth.
Okay, you piece of glorious filth. I was just saying, sorry, I had to brush my teeth because, we don't have these commercial breaks here. And I hate the doggy pile that happens with people like you. We usually send to people, hey, promote this on social media. And I realized...
No, they said it's too early to count. They haven't finished counting the votes.
I disagree with you more than a lot of people who used to host you. I just can't get on board with people who...
Why would you want to
who
go
don't
there?
support you afterwards. So I'm glad to have you on here tonight.
Just
what is
get
best
the
site,
land
Alex, for
out
people who are
here.
tuning into my stream here?
That would be Infowars.com or Newswars.com or Election Night.
At least you won't have to worry about. I mean, you won't have to worry about all the protests and shit.
Is Trump winning? Is Trump losing? I think Trump's
And you
winning.
won't have all the heat stroke.
Yeah, so I did a whole kind of breakdown early on in the show with early voting and with the percentage of the early vote and what kind of a gap there needed to be. Thus far, I've been right about all of it except for Arizona, which seems to me like there was a little bit of an early call. Arizona's a little bit tough because
What do you
there've been some
mean?
serious
I sent
demographic
him the
changes.
link.
But right now, I think one thing Alex Jones and everybody else sort of gets wrong is what's going on there, Quarter Black Carrot?
No, I'll send you the link on your phone then.
Joe Biden needs to run the board. People act like Donald Trump does. Donald Trump, he just needs to win
All right, I'll hang
Michigan
up real
or
quick.
Pennsylvania, and then he can win any of the other. He can win Wisconsin and Michigan. He can win Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Joe Biden, even at this point, let's assume he does win Arizona. He needs to win Michigan and Pennsylvania, the big, or he needs to win Minnesota, Wisconsin, and then Michigan or Pennsylvania. So there are still fewer options for Joe Biden at this point. And I will say this: I don't know, and this could go either way. It doesn't change what I do. What I do, my problem is with the media, right? No one's going to be making a highlight reel out of me because I'm going to light up a nice cigar either way. But I am surprised to see Donald Trump outpunting his coverage from
Yeah, to be
2016
honest with
in
you, how the
Philadelphia, and
hell
seeing how he's doing better with black men, black
you do
women,
all those rallies,
Latinos, and we haven't had
get
the
all
same
those
kind of
people,
demographic
and
shifts
Biden's gonna
in
win? Come on
Pennsylvania,
now.
Michigan,
What the
Wisconsin
fuck?
that we saw in Arizona.
That's why I said, man, there's gonna be a hell of a lot of death in the streets.
Well for him. Gun to my
No
head,
matter
I
what
still bet
happens.
that Donald Trump wins.
Well, I hope that's the case. Steven Crowder is here with us on election
What do you
night.
think?
No, I mean, I am not the mathematician like you are, but I'm seeing some of the same numbers you're seeing. What do you think is going to happen if Trump wins versus Trump loses? What does Trump need to do if he wins
Well, he can't do
versus
nothing
if the
right
Democrats
now.
win? What's
If
going to
he
happen?
wins, he needs to fucking
So
arrest
if Donald
everybody.
Trump wins, we're going to see some civil unrest. Elijah Schaefer, I believe, is on the ground in D.C., who we'll be checking in with because he said that they already have. Apparently, pallets of bricks have been appearing, like power-ups in Mario 3 out of nowhere. So I think if Donald Trump actually, if he wins, I think he actually needs to probably move pretty quickly.
How do you not
in
arrest the
quelling
people
any
dropping
civil
off
unrest. And I
fucking
don't mean
bricks, dude?
quelling any protests, that's fine.
Come
but
on,
civil unrest that
DC,
could
grow
harm,
up.
fellow Americans.
You mean
as
quelling
it-
murder and burning and death?
Primarily, yes, yes.
Nailed it.
Yes, exactly. I have no problem if someone wants to go out with their signs and, shout that someone's a racist or wave a shaman stick over some poppies. That doesn't bother me one bit. But if they start burning down a Walgreens, I think Donald Trump's going to need to stop that pretty quickly. If Joe Biden wins, I think there's still going to be right. Here's the thing: in Los Angeles and Beverly Hills, right, they're boarding up their shops, and that's obviously not because of Trump supporters. Right? What is so shocking to me, I shouldn't say shocking, but what is very difficult for me to comprehend is that these places, right, they oppose Donald Trump and they're boarding up their stores like Austin. When has anyone ever boarded up a store because they're afraid of, quote unquote, the Proud Boys? No, they know who's rioting and looting, and they know that if Donald Trump wins this in a fair election, that they can expect their own stuff to be burned down. Please kill me last. Well, okay.
By the way,
I guess
Steven
you're last.
Crowder, are you wearing a shoulder holster firearm right now?
I am wearing a shoulder holster right now. I'm wearing the same shoulder holster that I wore at Jared Foster's there in Austin. Yeah, it's an old 357 Magnum. That's a 7-shot or 8-shot actually. Just because I wanted to go classic. I wanted to go old dirty hairy look. I know that you're probably carrying a firearm, but it's probably in the waistband. I said this earlier to Ben Shapiro, the Daily Wire folks. The reason I wear it is my wife likes suspenders, but I'm not Larry King. And I came home
I gotta
one day
sign
in
into
this,
chat.
and
That gay.
she got very handsy. So now I wear it at every
Copy
When I come
in the
home,
web
like I have like
browser.
machine gun belts and like hand grenades. My wife gets so excited.
Yeah, well,
I guess I'll have to do it up here.
just don't dirty talk and tell her to pull the pin.
What is that giant bottle of liquor you've got right there?
Well, because I would say it's Wild Fowl 102 because they're not a sponsor, but it's nice. I actually haven't had that much to drink tonight. I was planning on it when Donald Trump won, but I haven't been doing that. Seems to me like you guys might have been doing
I'm
a little
having
bit of
plenty to
drinking
drink.
I think I've had a couple drinks, yeah.
I've been drinking.
I'm
I
gonna
never
be
know with
drunk
you,
as
Alex,
fuck.
Because sometimes you're like, I'll talk with you. I'm like, yeah, maybe we can go grab it. You're like, no, I'm not drinking anymore. I stopped. My sleep is better. Then you're like, I'm drinking again. So I never know what it's gonna be.
I did like 4 months last year. I was drinking. I lost like 30 pounds. But let's get serious. Steven Crowder, 2020 election. It's so nail biting. Like, is Trump going to win?
This is
what are the latest numbers? I want to
the
hear.
Trump wall,
I just want to
everybody.
be here with Steven Crowder.
Trump wall.
And we've got Old Schroyer in the other
Trump
studio.
wall.
I mean, what's the latest numbers? What's happening right now?
Even brought in mom's
Well,
hat.
I don't know what's going on. Is there anything that's new that's developed there? Hold on. Reg the Bandit is here with me. I don't think that anything has been called right now in this period of time, but Reg the Bandit, is there something new that I should know about?
The AP did call Minnesota for Biden.
Okay.
But, that's how it was looking anyway.
Okay, so Minnesota's gone to Biden. That doesn't really necessarily surprise me.
Yeah, and I had
it
Roger
really comes
Stone
down.
on like 20 minutes ago. He's like, I think Arizona's
Well, the
preemptive.
sad
They
thing
came
is
out,
I would
now
personally
Minnes-
say
now
those
Arizona's
that
not sure, right?
state
Yeah,
should
some
lose all
sources
their
are saying
benefits.
Arizona is preemptive,
no
but
more
it doesn't
welfare
seem-
for anybody.
It doesn't seem like anyone is saying that it was called wrong. They were saying that it might have been called a little bit too soon. Listen, I don't
No more
know
welfare.
That's necessarily foul play. I just think people are eager to try and call something first. So it really does come down to Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. And if Donald Trump wins 2 of those, he wins. It really is. Listen, it's anyone's game. They
Fingers
haven't called
crossed.
Iowa, as far as I know. That's obviously Donald Trump. They haven't called North
So let me
Carolina
ask
or
you this
Georgia.
question,
God
Steven
help
Crowder.
us for
You're
what?
really
Biden or
today.
Trump?
What happens if the left
I'm
wins
down with Trump.
versus what happens if
As
Trump
you can
wins? What
see.
do they do? Like, what's their
I even
victory
have
dance
my
versus their
my
defeat?
2016 pin
Well, I think
that
you
I
know,
got
remember
when I
the
voted
song, The
in
Mexican Hat
California.
Dance? It's similar, only no hat. They just dance on Mexicans.
That makes sense. So what's
They
going to
just
happen?
stomp. My point is they just stomp people. That's what they do. I don't think it really matters. I think maybe they might put Eddie Haskell it and put on a nice face for a couple of days if Joe Biden wins. But I think it's pretty tough, to put that genie back in the bottle when people are ready to burn stuff down right now.
Yeah, but when the
if
dude
Trump
is
wins, I think there's
sleeping
still
and he
going to be some
won't, and he
destruction. I come
tells
from Montreal,
Trump
where
to
listen,
freaking
the
go
Montreal
after
Canadiens won
the
the Stanley
Proud
Cup,
Boys,
our
calls
city
them the
rioted.
Poor
So
what
Boys,
happens,
city
though,
rioted.
if
says
Trump
go
wins?
after the white
Trump
supremacists.
wins, I
This
expect there to be some
motherfucker's
significant
47
violence in
years
this
in. He
You're
was
absolutely right.
big
because
boy with the
they want
with
power. They want political
what's his
domination.
face?
And so they want fascism.
The
So they're going to
Toad
do
Dragon or
it.
whatever
The
for
only
the
question is how bad is it
KKK.
going to be?
Yeah, I don't know how bad it's going to be.
Why didn't
I
any of
wouldn't
the
be
people
surprised,
call him out and
at
say,
all
"Hey,
if
you're
this,
part of the Democrat Party.
if it
They're a
dwarfed
bunch
the
of
kind of
racists. Why
riots that
haven't
we've
you
seen over the
disavowed
year
the
of,
KKK and the white
2020,
supremacists and
or I guess
slavery?"
I should say earlier in
And let's call
2020.
Black
Well,
Lives
Steve
Matter
Crowder,
and
I gotta
Antifa
say,
and
I
all
agree
those
with you.
motherfuckers.
You can't
Yeah,
have
I hate it. I
a
don't
gallon of
want that
whiskey.
to be the case.
You can't have a gallon of whiskey on your desk without taking the top off
And
drinking
taking a
5
drink.
ounces right now.
Take a drink,
Even
Crowder.
though
I can't do it.
Whoa.
Be a man,
I
Crowder.
can't
Take a
do it.
drink.
I'm carrying, Alex. I'm not going to commit a crime. You should know better.
Well,
Oh, you're
pull the
concealed carry under
pull the
Texas
gun
law,
out, put it in
but
the
you're not
drawer, and
driving
take a
a
drink.
vehicle, though.
I'm not driving a vehicle, and technically I'm open
Or
carrying. So,
or
you know
put
what?
it
All right.
put it in put it on your counter.
5 ounces or Trump lose.
5 ounces.
Yes.
I'm not gonna
No, Alex is
I'm not
gonna
open
get
5 ounces because I
Steven
have to
drunk.
finish a
Yeah,
broadcast
that's
here,
what I'm
Alex.
You're gonna do a great
screaming.
job. This is what everybody
I'll do-
wants.
Thank you for look.
And hell yeah, GR33N.
That's up probably 5.
Hell yeah,
that's
brother.
5 shots.
I'm
Okay.
telling you.
That's probably 5
Telling
shots.
you.
I wish that we had those big ice cubes. So it
These
doesn't
these
dilute the
elections,
show.
man, they're
Yeah, I thought we
crazy.
had some, but unfortunately my
Ugh.
wife used them for some kind of a project.
Every
she
4
found on
years,
Etsy,
when you
so,
want someone to
I
win
think
and
it
you
was
actually
mercy.
like somebody,
Oh.
it just gets all fucking
Oh.
twisted. They are.
Hey, you can see there's a little bit in there. Now, keep in
Now,
mind,
if
Joe Rogan couldn't peer pressure me to drink Gentleman
It's
Jack the way
funny
he did for 2 reasons. One, Gentleman Jack sucks.
how
2,
Tim
I
Pool,
understand that you have my best
Tim
interest at
Pool
heart.
from YouTube,
I
wanna
feel
get
like
drunk
Joe
with you
Rogan
right
is
And,
more knowledgeable
I
about
love you.
pot,
I love you. I
that
love you.
but I think that you just want me to have
I'm
a good
actually
time.
really surprised that I haven't been booted,
The truth is,
considering
Steven, we're gonna get
I'm
married.
I'm showing the
Oh,
band
and by the way,
guy.
Did you read that Bloomberg article, by the way?
I
that
still
came out?
have his original app
No,
where I
which
could
one?
download. I
Okay,
got
'cause
it
was
before
worried that
they
you might read- 'cause
they
there was this
booted it off
Bloomberg
of.
article came out that was a hit piece where they asked me about
So you could download
and
it.
I said oh yeah, I said I had him on. I said I disagree with Alex Jones on a whole lot, but obviously he's an interesting character, and I don't like the doggy pile, and so I feel compelled to have him on. And then in the article, he just said Steven Crowder said he was an interesting character. So if it comes down to it, I've got the full phone call recorded. I actually was.
I get all my phone
I
calls
disagree
recorded too.
with me a lot. I just love your show. I watch you. Here's the thing. I watch you on my TV. I go to your channel and we watch it with the kids. So I watch you every day. So I'm like, I know you. So I don't care if you attack me. I deserve to be attacked.
No, but the point is, I didn't attack you. This whole piece was I was
No,
going,
no,
oh,
they
maybe Alex needs to know.
misrepresent everything.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
But
because
I
you are
don't
an
believe
interesting
what they
character.
say and believe it. So
Yeah, you are an interesting character. You know that, but that's not an insult. You are a character, and I don't mean you're playing a character. It's like you're a character. You're a guy.
Well, you're a character
gut level,
too, louder.
Is Trump going to be president tomorrow morning?
There you go.
Gut level, yes.
I agree.
What do you think?
Gut
Okay,
level,
good.
I
He
hope.
better be. My God. If that walking corpse is the president.
I've met too many farmers where I'm at are already locked and loaded.
I tell you what.
Steven.
Have you actually tried to watch a full Biden rally? I don't mean 5 or 10 minutes. A full Biden rally. Have you tried?
I agree with you. Everybody's like, oh, it's out of context. I've sat there like 5 or 6 times and watched like an hour. It's worse than the clips. It's like, what the hell is this?
And I tell you what, I know that you've had a few, Alex, and you're still far more articulate than Joe Biden when he when he's on speed. By the way, right now they're saying on CNN that Joe Biden is to make a statement shortly.
Yep.
Oh.
So I wonder what that's about. Please
Yeah,
don't tell me
what
you're
are you
saying,
gonna
I'm
drop
pull the
out,
switcheroo with
Biden?
Carmella.
Drop
I
out,
can't
punk.
but I want her to finish.
Kamala Harris
This
got on
morning
her
at
knees and
Axios, he
sucked
said,
you off so
I'm
hard
gonna
that you're gonna make her
assert
president
power
instead
and
of you.
declare myself the winner, and the media is going to declare me the winner. So we're about to see history right now, Crowder. Actually, Steve,
Oh
I've
my
had nothing
God.
to drink today, okay?
Okay, well that's fair. So you haven't had any
Shame,
have any
shame, I tell you.
domesticated fowl 102.
And Joe Biden's not a Chi-Com agent. I've never had one drink in my life, and Joe Biden is not a traitor.
All right. Alex, we do have to
Yeah,
get going.
fuck Joe Biden. That
I
dude.
appreciate you being on, brother. And
I'm so sick and tired of these Democrat people. Oh, looks
All right,
like
folks, there you go.
YouTube.
There goes
YouTube
Steve
got him.
What do you think, David Knight?
YouTube got Crowder.
It's kind of interesting. He was talking about the demographics, and I've talked about this before in terms of vetting electronic voting. You know, the electronic voting started in Venezuela. There's a couple of pals of Hugo Chavez that set up the first electronic voting company that got big, Smartmatic. And one of the things that the U.S. State Department does, you know, you've got one organization that does the exit polls throughout the whole United States, right?
People like
and they
Democrats,
decide what they're going to report, and they will give a demographic
in really
breakdown,
high
which is what,
positions
Stephen
never
Crowder
seem
was
to go to
pointing out.
jail.
But you know what
when
they
it
don't
comes
do
to be a
is they don't tell
Republican,
you what the
they
vote
seem
totals
to
are, on the
revel
exit
in
polls,
saying,
just
"Oh,
the
well, they're
total votes.
corrupt.
In
They're
other words,
corrupt."
they'll say this percentage of females.
I
want to
live in a
candidate,
country
this
where both
percentage
parties
of
get called out
blacks
equally.
or Hispanics or whatever. They'll give you that kind of demographic crosstab, but they won't give you a total. Because what the State Department does to look at a
I don't know why Texas has already been called. Why are
is
you
to
showing me
do
that?
exit polls and then compare that to the reported votes. And if it's more than
Florida's
I think
already
the number's
been
like
called.
4%, they say this is a rigged election. So they never do that in the United States. You certainly aren't going to see it in this election. They're not going to give you anything like that at all.
So they're doing it again.
Yeah.
And we're here almost at midnight. It's 11:26 Central Time, 12:26 Eastern.
So Texas is only an hour
10:26
ahead of me,
Mountain,
huh?
9:26 Pacific, and we're sitting here just waiting for the shoe to drop.
What time is it Greenwich Mean Time?
Throw the
It's
shoe.
about like 4 in the morning.
I don't know. I mean, we just had the clocks changed, so I'm not sure. Are we +5 or +6?
All right, let's do this. Let's bring in Owen Schroyer and Harrison Smith with David Knight.
There we go.
And there goes Owen up.
Texas is called.
So let me just tell you right now.
145
in any other
for
situation,
Trump.
Trump would already be declared the winner in Pennsylvania. He's surging ahead. He's got a huge lead in Pennsylvania. So unless every mail-in ballot ever cast in the history of Pennsylvania is for Biden, I don't know how Trump doesn't win Pennsylvania. But, you know, here's what I think.
I like my
the reason
flag.
why Biden's about to make a statement is it's his bedtime. He can't be up
We
much
had
later. He's gonna come out and make a
multiple
statement so he can go to
rallies
bed
up here
because he knows
in
they're not going to be able to call this
Cedar
election
City.
for another week at the pace it's
So
at. Now, here's what's
in the
interesting.
next couple days,
Trump's
I'll be
still ahead in
posting
Georgia.
those
If
rallies on
I
my
don't know what's
YouTube
going on in
channel.
North Carolina, guys. Give
where
me North
all
Carolina
the-
here, the numbers. Don't zoom in.
All
by the way,
the Trump
Fox and others
vehicles
have
just
called Florida,
freaking
right?
flooded
Florida's Trump,
all the
Texas
streets
is
both
Trump.
ways.
We'll wait and see if they
Freeways,
call Georgia Trump, but
everything.
he has a strong lead there. I think it's safe to say Wisconsin is tight, but it's looking like it's going to go Trump's way. Michigan is looking good for Trump. Again, any other night they'd already called Trump Pennsylvania and probably declared Trump the winner.
Probably.
Minnesota, Biden has a lead right now. I think it's going to be a lot narrower. Trump, I think, still has an outside chance in Minnesota. The districts that we
Arizona
have no
hasn't been
numbers
called
returning
yet, but
are strong red districts.
I
Now,
don't
can he
I
make
don't
up
hold any
200,000
hope
votes?
for
It's gonna be very
Nevada,
close.
but
I think
can't
Minnesota will be
remember
within
if
100,000
Arizona
votes
went
by
red
the end of the
last
night.
in 2016
They're
or not.
flip-flopping on Arizona. We haven't had an update there in a while. Nevada's numbers are still let me see those numbers, guys, real quick. Yeah, we haven't had an update there in a while. Let me see Nevada. Still early, but okay, they're not saying results. There are
Yeah,
some
see,
early results.
Arizona's
Trump winning.
blue, but Trump was
For
ahead.
whatever reason, we're waiting to see what happens in North Carolina. It's so tight. It's a razor's edge. We haven't had an update there in a while. The next update that comes out of North Carolina is going to be the linchpin. Because, again, if Trump wins North Carolina and then can also win Wisconsin and Michigan, which he's ahead in, that's his path to victory. And he can declare victory tonight. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to come out and have Biden make a statement. Oh, you know, it's too, we can't call it. Good night for Biden.
Go to sleep, nigga, go to
If they announce
sleep.
North Carolina and Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin for Trump, Trump will come out maybe in an hour and make a victory speech.
So, Owen, make that prediction. What do you think this big Biden announcement is going to be?
I think he's just going to make the announcement that, yeah, we can't declare a winner tonight, and it's been nice, and they'll do a whole fluff of how great he is and everything, and then he'll go to bed. That's all it is. It's all just an act so he can go to bed. That's all it is. They just have to get Biden to bed.
Take the damn mic off, dude. The mask.
This clown.
No mask, bro.
I mean, these people are a joke.
This is malarkey. I think that's one thing that that Biden got right. This is
You're
an
the only
American
blank
spokesperson.
there.
This person.
Why are you wearing a mask?
It's like a joke. It's like I'm wearing my diaper.
It's a diaper baby. Diaper
Yeah, it's
baby.
going to be. I don't know. When we look at this, they can just keep rolling this thing further. And of course, if President Trump.
But let's turn him on. Let's hear what the Walrus Man has to say.
President Trump comes out, they say,
turn his audio up. Let's hear this.
A little early.
He's not talking yet.
Come on. Stop laughing.
What the hell is this?
There's no reason for you to laugh.
Like a kook in a freaking mask? I mean, what the hell is this? Like, this is what we've become?
Yeah.
It's like people posing as like Secret Service with fake Kamala Harris.
It's the lockdown election.
The lockdown election.
And,
I like that.
earlier in
I
the
like
So
that.
this is the big Biden announcement. It's this person.
You
Earlier in the day,
Americans
Joe
out there in
Scarborough said
Democrat
that,
areas, if
Trump
you
came on,
vote
they weren't gonna put
for
him on. So, you know, but we can have
Diaper
Biden
Man,
come on.
Sleepy
But talk about
Baby,
absurdist.
he will
Like,
shut
what
shit
is-
down.
Look at this dude. I mean, this is what we've turned into? Like, this dude? Go back to it, please. Just put him on screen.
We
The last
still
thing I
ain't
ever
wearing
said
masks where I'm at.
This is the end of America.
Nobody's
Like,
sick.
what the hell is that?
What we got? Texas and Florida
Wearing a
gonna
mask,
be
I'm a
red.
dirty human. I'm bad. Everyone hates
I
me.
think
I'm
they were
poisonous.
called, but I hope so.
I'm wearing
I don't
a
want
mask.
4
I'm
years
bad.
of Biden.
I'm bad.
And I definitely, look,
The American
motherfucker,
flag's
he's trying to
already-
fix
look,
the
we're
flag.
Americans. Oh, we're nice. You can trust us. I mean,
Trying to fix the
this guy
flag.
has to sit up there in a clown mask. Like, I mean, and we buy into it. We go along with it.
I
we
mean,
deserve it all.
apparently there's a
It's not
company
public
out there
health
that sells Halloween masks.
What matters is the man bun.
Yeah. That's
And
right.
during the election,
Just
they called the election
heard it's like
for
a
Trump
trillion
in
years. I'm in
2016
hell.
because they
Listen,
had more
like,
masks
I just
for
sit here with that
Biden,
dude wearing a
or I'm
mask
sorry,
forever. Let's go
Trump
back to
sold
it.
than Hillary.
Actually, this is my whole future. Go
This
back to it.
time around, they had more masks
With
of
mumbling.
Trump
Listen to the audio.
masks
This is how-
sold than Biden. They only grabbed, I think it was 60,000 masks for Biden, and they barely sold those.
He's like, oh, let me act really real.
So they're
right
calling
now.
for
Okay,
Trump.
This is totally
So I'm really
normal.
hoping Trump wins.
I'm wearing a diaper. I've got a microphone in front of my face, and I'm here.
I got a microphone in my
Look,
face.
Oh, Joe's coming up.
I got a microphone
gosh.
on my head. Here comes Joe Kryman.
Yeah, this is
He's
Twilight
gonna
Zone.
fall
You know, it's
asleep.
Like even Don Lemon wears a mask on TV now. It's like, oh, it's totally real. We're all dead. We're all evil. I mean, look, he's back. Look at these freaking clowns, man. I mean, look at these people.
Yeah, it's gotta.
You talk about a cult, David.
It's
Thank
gotta.
God every millisecond.
I was
they're not.
telling people
Yeah.
like a couple weeks ago when I told them I had to do an
Hey,
absentee
look,
ballot.
don't care.
They gotta wipe that shit down.
They're like babbling
Wipe
about
it
politics in
down.
front of everybody.
Clean
They're
that
going
shit
this
for
off.
Biden.
Polling was
You
now
had a mask
absolutely
guy
correct.
standing there.
Based on polling, it
Anyways,
looked like there were all kinds of different paths
I
we would
was
get there. As it turned out,
was
the
chatting
one
with
true
a
path
bunch
was
of
the
people
path
in town
that they were
and
most focused
told them
on
that I had to do an absentee ballot, and they're like, "Well, you've been here a couple years. Why haven't you just registered here?"
Yeah.
I said,
This is
"Because
like-
We have like a satellite on the roof.
I'm still a Californian, and if I have a chance to make that shit red, I'm gonna make it red."
I can look at Fox, CNN, like 100 channels. They'll be like, "What? The stuff they say on these tapes is incredible."
Oh yeah.
I really
had a
hope
friend that I used to work
California
with back in the 80s,
goes
and he used
red.
to get direct satellite feeds.
Soon,
And
like real
the
soon.
stuff that
The
you
only
see,
thing I could think of is all
like
the
Well, listen to it. Here, go ahead,
all
listen
those
to it.
people in California rise up and arrest everybody that is running California
That's the Lone Ranger right there.
and tell the police
Looks like
straight up,
wiping it down all real. Oh, we're all dirty.
fire
Oh,
that
it's
first
wiped
shot.
out.
Fire it.
Trump is who doomed that state because of his
How many times you gonna clean the counter, bro?
Yeah, I'm just so tired of this.
Stop
mess.
cleaning.
But listen to it. Listen to the audio.
with the late Senator McCain may be the thing that
They don't
actually
even care. They're on a live satellite feed. They're just talking shit. Delay that. They're talking all this crap. They're like on TV all over. They don't care, man. Because they don't know one's going to call them. They can be Russian agents. They can be Chinese agents. They can be globalists. They can do whatever. They can be pedophiles. No one does anything to them. They have get out of jail free cards.
You gotta mute.
other places have already called Arizona for Joe Biden. I believe that will go in his column without a doubt. And so that's one.
And listen, the woman mic'd up doesn't know she's on air. She's gibbering and doesn't even know she's mic'd up.
And I bet she doesn't know that we're feeding it out either.
They don't care. It's like, because they have no, it's like, well, who cares what we do?
Yeah.
It relates to the state of Minnesota. Now, it has been too early to call there. It remains too early to call in the state of Minnesota, but NBC is now adding the characterization.
Oh, that's Rachel Maddow.
Joe Biden leads.
They got a Rachel Maddow feed that they probably play.
Oh my God, Joe must be here.
So this is Joe's headquarters where they're doing Rachel Maddow. That's who they're going for.
What does shitty Biden have to say?
And that's
Honk your horn.
You know, they circle everything. Honk. Hear it? No, everywhere people know where they're at. They just circle it. Honk. There's
Must
there's,
truly suck
Mayor
to have to wear a
Lightfoot.
mask everywhere you go.
It's a threat.
In every county.
Listen to it. Crank it up.
This is someone who is very close to her state. She is very confident about what the results will be in Minnesota, and I believe Amy.
Owen Schroyer, how surreal is this? Waiting for
We can't
Biden's
see. All
bizarre
I hear is the
statement.
craziness. What is that, like D.C. or something?
I don't know. Where is Biden right now?
In the basement.
He's probably in
Delaware?
Pennsylvania or Delaware. He can't travel too far.
It's live from
Motherfucker's
Joe
in a
Biden's
basement. They're gonna bring up a little flat screen.
This is like hell on earth. Like we've literally entered hell. So Owen, we'll go back to this in a minute. What do you make of this?
Again, we can't see what you guys are seeing in there. Is that the Joe Biden about to say?
Yeah, it's just horns honking. Everybody's surrounding him, I guess. And
Empty
Yeah,
podium.
he'll probably go into a seizure and die if they keep that up. They should probably calm down. I don't think the old man can handle it.
You know, that
We
wouldn't
do
be
have
too
some
hard.
updates, though. It does
That would be
appear
nice.
that Biden is going to win
I'm so
Minnesota.
sick and
I think we
tired
can
of
go ahead and
dealing with
declare
these
that.
corrupt ass
They're
politicians.
saying that he's going to win Arizona. We
I don't
haven't
feel
seen
bad
any
when
new
they croak.
returns in Arizona, but they are claiming he's going to win Arizona, which is odd to see that Trump would lose Arizona like that. That is a real strange thing to see there. We still don't have much coming out of Nevada. Early returns show Trump, but they're way too early.
I think
to
they're
say.
going to steal the election.
We have nothing in Vegas or Reno, but we got Texas, we got Florida. I mean, Georgia's close. They haven't declared it yet, but looks like it's going to go Trump. Same with Wisconsin. Same with Michigan. Again, any other night you would declare Trump victorious in
Tim
Pennsylvania.
Pool is
and that would
actually
be it.
If you add all the
live,
numbers
but
together,
he's
he
drinking
needs
and having
Pennsylvania.
fun. He's supposed to be
He doesn't
popping
need
in and out of
Pennsylvania,
his
but he
show.
needs everything else. If
I'm
he doesn't
actually
get Pennsylvania.
lunking onto this
If they don't take
and
Pennsylvania
to see what
tonight,
he's up
he has
to.
to take Wisconsin, Michigan, North Carolina, and Georgia, where he's ahead. He's ahead in each one of those states, but it's really tight in Wisconsin
other
and North
laptop.
Carolina and Georgia. But he could take those four states and not even need Pennsylvania. But he's got the biggest lead in Pennsylvania than any of the other states.
Harrison Smith, what do you say?
Yeah, I have to agree with all of that. It's interesting what some places have decided to declare winners while others haven't. Of course, you have Florida and Georgia. Some people are calling for Trump. Other people aren't. Ohio's been called for Trump. Iowa's been called for Trump. It still looks like it's up in the air. You know, you ask to predict how it's going to happen. It's like, you know, it's like you're asking to predict the end of a football game, and it's like, well, we're scoring well, offense is good, defense is good, but the other team might, you know, break our quarterback's leg in the fourth quarter. So you can't really predict that. So it's like, well, if things keep going the way they
So
are,
live
I see a
stream.
Trump victory, you know, in the offing, but who knows what sort of shenanigans they're getting up to in Pennsylvania and elsewhere, and they're just waiting to roll out the thousands of mysteriously gathered ballots.
I agree.
late
So
in the
when
evening.
do we find out what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's really incredible.
Well, you know, I think what Crowder had to say in terms of riots, they're going to riot if Trump is declared the winner. They're going to also riot, as I said, same thing, same sports analogy. I said, you know, you look at these various places, they tear the town up if they win, they tear the town up if they lose. And
Yeah.
that's what these guys are going to do. when you look at all of the
Well, that's what happens when you have
pictures of people
spoiled
sending
little
me all
shit
over the country,
stains.
all these different stacks of bricks and the lumber shortages as they're boarding everything up. So we got a construction boom going on here, right? If the broken window fallacy was a real thing, we'd be looking at another economic boom.
I agree. So does Trump win or lose tonight? Owen Schroyer.
Look, I'm confident enough to say Trump's won. But again, why we're not calling Pennsylvania is the whole linchpin here. And they're calling Arizona for Biden. Let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see. Again, it does look that way. I will say Biden will take Minnesota at this point. But again, I mean, any other night, we're sitting here getting ready to celebrate because Trump is dominating in Pennsylvania. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's because he's up huge in Pennsylvania, and we just have to sit here and we're just knowing it's like, okay, well, Trump could be up 1 million in Pennsylvania, and they'll fake 1.5 million votes. I mean, it's pathetic.
Well, they were live, but they're not live anymore, so I don't know what's going on over there.
Now, he was caught in illegal electioneering today in Philadelphia. This guy shouldn't even be allowed to control the results of the Pennsylvania election, but that's what he's doing. But look, eventually, Joe Biden's going to come out and say, oh, we did great. He may even declare himself the winner.
So I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. I couldn't sleep. So I'm exhausted. If I go to sleep in my office for 2 hours, I wake up, who's the winner?
You're not going to know. I don't think you're going to know.
In 2 hours, they're going to have to make an announcement in Georgia and North Carolina. There's no way they can just delay it.
So what do you think Joe Biden's announcement is going to be?
I won and I'm going to bed.
Yeah, it's gonna be the John Podesta of 2016. The John Podesta coming out and saying, "Go home, everyone. We'll talk to you tomorrow." I think that's gonna be about it.
This is
Here
Cody.
Oh, here he is.
Oh, turn this up. Oh my God, wearing the diaper. Here we go. Turn it up.
Oh, the diaper boy. Diaper boy.
Oh, look at these people. The wife wearing the mask. She has like military epaulets on the mask. Good evening.
Patience is commendable.
Oh, I bet
we
it
knew
is.
This was going to go long, but who knew we're going to go into maybe tomorrow morning, maybe even longer. But look.
Yeah, we got to go longer so your bitch ass could try to steal the election.
We really do.
We really do.
Say it right, motherfucker.
We believe we're on track to win this election.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
We knew
Trump couldn't say that. They wouldn't let him.
Stop stuttering.
Yeah, he's not allowed to say he thinks he's winning.
Yeah.
We're going to have to be patient until the hard work of tallying the votes is finished.
Till we cheat.
And it ain't over till every vote is counted. Every ballot is counted.
It's all Hillary talk. We put 80 million fake ballots out. They're going to get counted.
But we're feeling good.
Listen to all the that's Trump supporters are besieged them, honking.
We believe one of the Nets has suggested.
Isn't that
we've
crazy,
already won
David?
Arizona, but we're
Everywhere they
Already
go,
got the first
besieged.
stutter.
That's a turnaround. We also just called it for Minnesota, and we're still in the game in Georgia, although that's not one we expected.
Honk, 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 honk.
God, I hope he is a lame-o.
We're feeling real good about Wisconsin and Michigan.
Why would that be? You're behind huge.
And by the way, it's going to take time to count the votes. We're going to win Pennsylvania.
It's going to take
down
time.
Oh, look at that
It's going to take
criminal.
time, yeah.
I
That
talked to
pedophile.
folks in Philly, Allegheny County, Scranton, and they're really encouraged by the turnout and what they see. Look,
Given enough
we
time.
could know the results.
He's definitely had blood
as early as
transfusions. Look how he's
tomorrow
plumped
morning.
up.
But it may take a little longer, as I've
They put
said all
bags a
along.
day in him.
It's not
Trump
my
admitted he
question
got a transfusion, made him feel great.
declared
Like he was
who
honest.
won this election. That's the decision of the American people.
Bullshit.
But I'm
The
optimistic
American
about this
people
outcome.
are being censored everywhere.
I wanna thank
Listen to the horns.
I'm actually
everyone
surprised
who
this
voted
hasn't
in
been
this
censored.
election. And by the way, Chris Coons and the Democrats, congratulations
You just
here
say
in Delaware. Pardon me?
And there's no media coverage.
Hey,
Like,
John,
why is everyone
good job.
honking?
Yeah, the whole team, man.
Huh, he doesn't even know who he's talking to. His wife has to be on the stage with him telling him what to say.
In this democratic process.
Sorry, buddy.
And I'm grateful to all of my supporters here in Delaware and all across the nation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And folks, you heard me say it before. Every time I walk out of my grandpa's house up in Scranton, he'd yell, "Joey, keep the faith." And my grandma, when she was alive, yelled, "No,
He
Joey,
damn near
spread
fell
it.
asleep right there.
Keep the faith, guys. We're going to win this."
Okay,
Thank you,
so
thank
what's
you.
happened is that we're going to go plan A. announce he's the winner, and all the rest of it. That failed.
And
So
he
they were
walked
gonna
off
announce
stage
that in the
without
video.
without his
This
diaper.
is held up. Now they're going to hold up key states that they're about to lose. They're going plan B right now.
Yeah.
Plan B, folks.
And Trump's not going to be allowed to do what he just did.
Yeah, Trump can't come out and talk. He's not.
See, you asked earlier, what do we do? What do we tell Trump to do? Well, I think the key thing about all of this, even the lockdown, and again,
what Trump needs to do is he needs
the
to
lockdown has affected the economy. The lockdown has affected
come out
the way this
and
election
call
is
out that district attorney for saying Trump will never win Pennsylvania.
That's right. And the key to
Because
the
if he
lockdown
controls
was
the
the fact
fucking
that they
count,
didn't just run an information war or propaganda
he's
war.
cheating
they did
the minute he did that.
blitzkrieg war,
Yet Twitter
information war.
didn't ban him.
I made the analogy to the fact that during World War I, they had airplanes, but they really weren't that effective. They're basically reconnaissance and strafing people and occasionally dropping a little Molotov cocktail type of thing. Nobody was expecting what Hitler had with the blitzkrieg because of the advance in the aircraft. We've seen that kind of technological advance.
I agree.
In
The
their
propaganda is a whole new level.
And they've taken it to a whole... That's why they've been able to do the lockdown.
Until we realize it, we can defeat it.
That's right.
But you got to realize you're under attack to do it.
And you've got to stop this lock of the corporate media on the public square. And the problem is that when Trump did his garden party about free speech and stuff, he had there the Heritage Foundation, the Cato Institute, the biggest conservative, the biggest libertarian think tanks that are out there are pushing the idea that we don't want to do anything to step on the toes of these corporations that have stolen
When these
the public
corporations
square.
are bigger than government,
that's right.
They violate our rights.
That's
they're out
one
of control.
thing, dude.
And they're actually
Corporations
being used by the
need to be
government.
split
The
the
government
fuck
helped
up.
to put
I'm
them
over
in
'em.
place with
It's a
the
fascist takeover.
exactly.
Google
so
should not be able to
the government
own
can have plausible
YouTube.
deniability that they don't really want.
Should
Sure,
have
they created
stayed
Frankenstein.
separate.
Exactly.
So let's go. Let's go to Owen Schroyer and of course
Facebook
Harrison Smith. Guys,
should not own
I
almost
just pray to
every
God, I want
app
this to be over
to
because I've been
talk
up
to
since
people.
I couldn't sleep last night, and I got up at like 4 a.m. I'm exhausted. I'm going to stay up all night. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I gotta say, the Biden speech. I mean, how pathetic is
Yeah.
that? I mean, that's just pathetic.
He's got to
I mean,
bring
how can
his
this guy
wife on to
listen?
set up Plan B.
He had to have his wife out there on the stage with him.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah, his wife is out there on the stage whispering like,
I will be
Joe,
making
hey,
a
Joe.
statement tonight, a big
he was
win.
the winner and a dictator tonight. It didn't happen.
Hell yeah.
Look,
I
Trump
would love
just
to see
put out
Trump
tweet
making a
saying
statement.
They're trying to steal this election. It's not going to happen. He's just made another tweet saying, I will be making a statement tonight, a big win. So look, I mean, again, because we're just sitting here dealing with the Democrats raping us politically. We just have to sit here and take them raping us. Trump's won this election, folks. Okay? He's going to win Wisconsin. He's going to win Michigan. He's going to win Pennsylvania. He's already head in Georgia and North Carolina. That's all he needs, and it's already, he doesn't need anything else.
Yeah, well, I'm
But
done
they're just
with
acting like, oh, no,
Democrats
we're gonna count votes in
raping the
Georgia
country.
forever. We're going to count votes in Pennsylvania and Michigan forever. So no, Trump can never win. I mean, it's just sick. Trump better come out tonight and say, you know what? We're going to go ahead and just arrest Joe Biden. I mean, seriously,
No.
you want to get this guy out of the
Arrest
way.
that
We know of all the
motherfucker.
crimes. We know of all
And
the
arrest
chaos.
Hillary.
This is sick. It's sick.
By the way, I'm not
We as
disagreeing with
Americans
you.
have to sit
I'm
here
not disagreeing
and
with
have
you,
Joe
Owen.
Biden lecture us on an election that he's stealing as he's stolen millions of dollars from us. It's sick that we have to
Owen,
deal with
I agree with you. Let me make this point. I agree. Biden looked like a dead animal. He looked pathetic and just trying to prop up his people a little bit long.
You know what's interesting about that tweet is not that President Trump would say we got a big win, but that Twitter would let him say that because
We
they were
double
saying
check.
earlier that they
We
weren't going
double
to allow
check.
that to happen. Maybe Twitter is starting to think that Trump is going to win if they allow him to put out something like that.
If
Well,
Trump's
look at that.
looking like they're going to win, they
So
might
long,
even
David,
shut
don't
me
you want
down.
this to be over?
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I just want it to be over, but it's not going to be over. How long,
They
David?
can't
Knight?
shut
How long,
Alex
Troy? How
down
long,
because he
Harrison
just
Smith?
set up this whole brand
this gonna go
spanking new website.
You know, I don't know. And honestly, I've not been really that nervous throughout the whole night. I've been pretty sure Trump's going to win. That speech from Biden was kind of like, okay, why would they say this if he's just going to be humiliated in the morning? What does he know? What do they know that we don't? And that speech actually made me a little nervous because, you know, as you're pointing out, with the censorship coming down the pipe or already in place. And maybe, they're going to let Donald Trump say this now, but tomorrow morning it might be a different story. Right now, Trump is ahead in Wisconsin, Michigan,
No,
and
a lot of
Pennsylvania.
Crowder
Who knows
is
if in a
still
couple
alive.
hours, suddenly, magically, hundreds of thousands, millions of votes pour in. It can be blatant fraud.
I think
but
he
we're
got
not going to be
kicked
able to
off
say
and
it, or
then
we're all going to be
popped back
kicked off
on.
of Twitter. We're not going to be able to
I think he's
complain
talking
about it
that
or
right
post
now.
proof of it or post articles breaking it down, because anybody that does will be immediately eliminated by big tech. So I'm very concerned now, especially with Donald Trump saying they're trying to steal the election, with steal in all caps.
Yeah, the president is telling us
down.
this is happening. This is unbelievable moment. This is unbelievable. This is.
Yeah, I completely agree with Owen. We're sitting here just being robbed blind, and I feel impotent to do anything about it. God, we can only hope that Donald Trump has his minions on the ground finding out about this, and like Owen said, just arrest the.
The fuck is this page doesn't exist?
I actually haven't seen. His tweets were able to come down, and they're still coming down. In fact, he just
Why
put
does
another
it keep
tweet
saying
out
sorry
right
the
now.
page doesn't exist?
We are up big, but they are trying to steal the election. We will never let them do it. Votes cannot be cast after the polls are closed. Who knows what they're doing right now in North Carolina? I think that's where there's some criminal activity is going on in North Carolina right now. They're going to try to delay Pennsylvania and Georgia, even though Trump's ahead. They may just have to sacrifice Michigan and Wisconsin because Trump is doing so well there. We'll see what happens in Nevada and Arizona. It's projected to go to Biden, but it's going to come down to Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, I believe. And just watch out, man. The Democrats, boots on the ground, engage in criminal behavior right now to steal the election. Trump knows it. It's just a joke.
That
you
is
asked Alex,
BS,
when is this going to be
honest
in?
with
And
you.
when is this going to be over? It's going to be over when the criminals are put in jail. That's when this is going to be over. And until somebody has the balls to do it, we're going to have to deal with this crap.
Well, that's right, because they never give up. They never give up.
And they never will.
James Carville.
For God's sakes, Joe Biden is a cold-hearted criminal. I mean, everybody knows it, and he's just taking a big fat dump on us tonight.
James Carville said, we're going to know by 10 o'clock tomorrow night. And I think he said that at a point where they thought they were going to do a lot better than they did tonight. I think that because
10 tonight or 10 tomorrow?
10 tomorrow night. Yeah, 10, not tonight, but tomorrow night. And so I think that they didn't do anywhere nearly as well as they thought that they would do. So I think what's going to happen is I think you're going to see them harvesting ballots for the next 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
and then it's going to be a legal fight.
I can
like
see
President
them
Trump is talking
doing
about. Are they allowed
harvesting
to
the
continue to
ballots
vote after the polls are closed? So there's going
You
to be a
think
lot
they'll
of
do
fighting
that, Cody?
about the extension of the
You
deadline.
think
That's where
Democrats are going to steal the
legal
election?
warfare is going to be. They're going to try
You
to distinguish
think Democrats
when
will
these
steal it?
ballots came in and so forth. But
Democrats
they're
are
going to be
losers,
keeping, adding on to this for a couple more days, and so that's why we can't really say what's going to happen with this, because we've now, and again, it goes back to the lockdown. The lockdown trashed the economy, trashed 100,000 small businesses.
So why the hell would people vote for more lockdown?
And so now we have chaos and a dumpster fire, and it's going to go for several
Antifa,
more
Black
days.
Lives Matter, and
just
those
think about the
people
Project Veritas
aren't
revelations
sacrificing
in
nothing because they got
in
the majority of
San
them are
Antonio.
rich and they're all on
just the
fucking welfare.
Overwhelming amount of fraud that has been caught on tape. Have any of those people been arrested? Have
Nope.
any of them been punished? I mean, Ilhan
Nope.
Omar, it was a landslide today. She won, 98% or whatever it was. It's absurd. This is blatant fraud. This is blatant electioneering.
It's a total validation of the criminal takeover of America.
And nothing is being done. Absolutely nothing. So maybe it comes out that it looks like Joe Biden, won within a week or so, and Donald Trump has just a few months to literally arrest all these people, and maybe we can try the election again. I don't know how this works, but what we're seeing now is 100% the result of blatant fraud. We've seen it on tape. We've seen it on camera.
Man,
We've
if they're
going to
cheat, then who gives a fucking throw the law out and arrest fucking everyone?
We're the only ones reporting this. The alternative media is the only.
That's why they want us off air, because we're here covering it. We're so thankful to listeners spreading the word right now.
They hedged their bets earlier. They were talking about, well, here's what you should watch. You might see a big red wave, because that's not going to include the ballots that are in the mail.
They
so
are.
The media has already
smashed on the fucking down.
Yeah, they already put in their excuse or alibi for, oh, well, you thought that Trump won, but that's because we haven't counted all the votes that are in the mail. And that really is their plan at this point. I mean, I do think this thing's going to go on for 3 days.
So how's it going for them?
Well, not as well as they thought it would. I mean, their best
I
case
agree with you. So
scenario.
when you quantify that, how is it, a smart guy, how is it not going the way they wanted? I agree. It's not going the way they wanted.
That's right. I think, like I said, with Carville, he thought they were going to have it by 10 o'clock tomorrow night. But I think it's going to go longer.
But by the way, Twitter has now censored, they haven't deleted it, but they have censored Donald Trump's tweets now. You can't retweet them if you click them.
And that's why we're on air, folks. That's why you're spreading the links to
See?
the live show.
Twitter needs to be shut down.
Tech censors our president.
I don't give a fuck. Trump could have moved to a different
Unbelievable
tweeting
criminal
site,
activity
you know, that was not Twitter, but now they're apparently they're sanctioning Trump's
a
tweets.
federal judge say
And
that
that's
Donald
some
Trump
fucked up
could
shit.
not. I mean, this was not the POTUS
He
account.
couldn't block people attacking him on his own Twitter.
That's right.
It's a public forum. But when Twitter blocks him for saying they're running a scam, he can't do it.
That's right.
The fix is in, folks, but they can't stop you
It is
from
in.
sharing this live link. And I'm not
Fix
just about
is
us.
in.
I don't give a damn about me, folks. I want to win this war. Okay? You've got to share these links now to say, hey, they're stealing the election. They're taking the country over. Here's the feed. This could change the future.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, Alex, you said something earlier today.
Don't
that,
forget, jump
I'll
on
tell you
to
what,
ban.video.
if they get away with this deal, we're going next level. I mean, at
log
this
in,
point,
set up an
and to
account.
quote Andrew Breitbart, war. You've
So
taken
you
away
got
our
videos
First
you
Amendment.
can share.
You have shut down
Share
our
'em on
economy,
dead
and
accounts.
now you're stealing our election. War.
Well, I mean, we knew it was coming. So when you put
Share
this
them
tweet
on
up, I said,
personal accounts. Just
or
share them
somebody
on
said,
dead accounts.
they're going to censor that. They did.
Because
Yeah.
if they take out your
They
personal
announced it.
account,
They
Most
announced
interesting
it.
thing
They
about
all
this,
said
they
it.
didn't censor it yet.
They literally said during the
You're
tech
screwed.
hearings, what was that, last Tuesday, they all said,
You'd have to
I will
start
censor-
all over again.
Dorsey, Zuckerberg, Pichai, all said, we will censor the president on election night. This whole thing has been planned. This is a joke. I have to say, I disagree with with earlier analysis saying Trump's biggest mistake was not doing something about censorship. No, Trump's biggest mistake was Chris Wray. Trump's biggest mistake was Barr. Trump's biggest mistake was lining his pockets with the deep state. This should have never happened. Joe Biden shouldn't even be on a ticket. But because Barr and Wray stood down, we're going to have to deal with this now.
Well, you know, Barr is the guy that went in with George H.W. Bush to rebuild the CIA after it was totally discredited. And I've never trusted Barr. And you take a look at what he hasn't done. He's a deep state operative, in my opinion.
he's a something.
I mean, he's one of the guys that's still going after Assange, right? It's the Justice Department.
That's Trump's biggest failure.
Yeah.
Same with Pompeo.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Pompeo even came out and said, you know, when Trump said, well, we're going to pull troops back. Yeah, generals come out and say, no, we're not going to do that. Yeah, Pompeo come out. Yeah, he says that kind of stuff, but then we tell him what the facts are. Maybe we show him the Zapruder film, and then he changes his mind. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that was Pompeo said that as well. So.
No, it's disgusting. Any other, and it's all because of a fake pandemic. Any other time, Trump would already be declared the victor tonight. He's won Pennsylvania. He's won Georgia.
I just can't believe there's no closure to this. I'm so exhausted. I'm not lying to listeners. I'm exhausted. Let's play clip 1. The days of hell are upon us. And clip 2, elite need protection from the riots they created. Let's play those clips. I'm going to get a glass of water. We're going to come back here. Yeah, I heard double talk on my...
Yeah.
No,
By the way, Trump just went up again in Virginia. Trump just went up again in Virginia.
So I'm
Oh
telling
my
you, man,
gosh.
fake ass polls.
Wait, Trump over Biden in Virginia?
They're still giving it to Biden. Trump is now, the numbers I have, Trump is now ahead of Biden in Virginia.
Yeah, by 12,000 votes.
You know, the
Yeah.
interesting thing about that was that...
yeah,
I saw
ban.video.
when I went back to the hotel. By the way, they
Ban
kicked me out of 2 hotels
dot,
because I wouldn't
or
wear a mask.
ban period video.
I've just had it with this lockdown.
just to come to town tonight.
Yeah, exactly. But I saw a little bit of Fox coverage, and they were questioning the guy who was doing the analysis, and he said, well, you know, the people who say that Trump is up in Virginia, I hate to burst your bubble, but that means that Warner is not going to win there. And that's just not going to happen. But you heard Roger Stone say that Warner was down as well. So that, you know, that would be consistent, but they don't want to call that, right? They just keep it going.
That's right. I couldn't hear. You guys were talking over each other in the microphone. Okay, I think you said you're ready.
They're ready. Yep.
Okay, let's play a couple of these clips. We're going to be right back. Stay with us.
What's this? The War Room. Info. I like that.
I would say that globalization is inevitable unless someone really moves in to stop it.
We have all agreed to pursue the Sustainable Development Goals to 2030. The fourth industrial revolution, particularly digital technology, has fundamentally changed the global economic landscape. Globalization is an inevitable and irreversible trend.
是全球化这个势头是不可能。我觉得全球化的规则
people like this should be arrested.
We should not avoid challenges brought by the economic globalization. Instead, we should look directly at the gap of wealth and of development.
Well, the foundation can't
Fuck you, Bill Gates.
Ambitious goals in global health.
You sick
without
perv.
Deep partnerships with
I heard you were on Epstein's island. Epstein's plane.
Most of the aid.
Everything that is broken today can be fixed, and every failure can be turned into a truly great success. We must replace the present policy of globalism, which has just taken so many jobs out of our communities and so much wealth out of our country, and replace it with a new policy of Americanism.
Amen. And that kind of shit is racist.
America first. Remember that.
Now the world is awakening to globalism, and the forces of globalism are striking back in incredibly vicious ways.
I hope all of your children get raped and killed!
What kind of bullshit is that? I hope you get raped and killed.
79 days of hell that I've been talking about that start the day of the election. The Democrats have openly said, first in internal statements, then in white papers, then in war-gamed operations, then in Democrat think tank statements, then in the New York Times 3 months ago, that they are going to contest, they know Trump's going to win, and that they're going to have Western states split off, tank the dollar in the stock market, have race riots nationwide.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Why can't we arrest those people?
From office. The big corporations, the banks.
If they tell us they're going to do it, that's like saying we're going to shoot your kid right in front of you.
All of these systems, along with radical
If that's a
Islam
terrorist fucking threat, why can't we go after the people that are threatening? I thought nobody's higher than, no one's above the law. But apparently Dems are.
The public. That's why they flooded us with the 80 million ballots. A lot of people got 3 or 4 ballots. Dead cats, dead dogs, dead people got them. So that even if Trump is winning by 3-4 points in battleground states, and statistically has a majority, and you can see that there's a bunch of votes that haven't been cast, but still he'd win if all of those went Democrat, they're going to say, we don't care, they're all going to be counted.
You got a ballot?
And they put out so many
you got
a ballot. He may never be able to get to that number because they'll never be able to count enough of the ballots
Tommy got a ballot.
that clear victory.
But the easiest
Tommy
thing
got a
for him
ballot.
to do
Not in the mouth.
is to stand up like a man and accept the results of an election of the
You
American
bitches
people.
need to stand up
For
like a
him,
man and accept the
to
results.
make these kinds of statements shows his lack of patriotism.
I feel very confident that Joe Biden will be elected president on Tuesday.
Yeah, I bet.
Whatever the end count is, but on the election that occurs on Tuesday, he will be elected. On January 20th, he will be inaugurated president of the United States.
So regardless, if he loses, he's still elected?
That it doesn't matter what the election says, we're not going to accept it, and then we're going to have states secede, and then we will seat him geographically from another location, and that geography doesn't matter, the White House doesn't matter, it matters who they say the president is.
Well, it's not how we play the game, people.
Why am I voting for Donald Trump? Because of you.
I'm talking to you, liberals. You're the ones doing everything you can to destroy our country.
You're the ones who want to destroy our culture, our history, and our heritage. You tear down our statues, you destroy our monuments, and you desecrate our heroes.
You encourage and participate in the rioting and the looting and destruction of our cities.
You call the protests peaceful, and then turn around and release the violent criminals back onto the streets.
All charges dropped. What's wrong with you?
All this while defunding our police.
You want wide open borders and sanctuary cities for illegal migrants. What is it about illegal that you don't understand?
You say I grew up with white privilege, but you don't know anything about me, where I've been, the things I've seen. You don't know my history.
You call me a white supremacist.
You called me an Uncle Tom.
I'm a Nazi? Seriously? Get out of here.
You refuse to accept the truth. You wouldn't know the truth if it hit you in the face. But it's worse than that. You censored the truth from getting out. You ridicule the people that speak the truth. Why do you have to be like this?
You're the gullible sheep who trust the fake news mockingbird media.
You think Jeffrey Epstein really did kill himself.
You've infiltrated our universities and academia to brainwash our youth into thinking America is a racist country and that socialism is the answer.
He was
I don't think so.
When I try to
murdered by Cody here.
When
You got
I have a
Epstein?
conversation,
You did it.
You
You
call
did
me
it to
names
Epstein?
or
Yes,
block
you
me
did.
out. How is that going to help anything?
I don't get it. You're embarrassed to call yourself an American. We are proud of our country and our heritage and
Damn
our
straight.
culture.
You proud of
Like it or
America?
not, we are
You like
going to
America?
make America
You like
great
America?
again.
You like America? I'll send you to a Muslim. Send you to a Muslim. You wanna go to Muslim?
Make America great again. Make America great again.
Oh.
I'm going to add another again.
I'll be right back. Gotta let
This
them
way I can
outside.
sell you all an extra hat. It all goes to the campaign.
Cognitive dissonance is a major issue amongst the left. It can be very stressful dealing with facts you refuse to accept. If you have a family member suffering from this degenerative mental condition, buy them a bottle of Ultimate Fish Oil from InfoWarsStore.com. Studies have suggested that fish oils and fish oil supplementation can slightly lower blood pressure, decrease triglyceride levels, decrease the growth rate of plaque, and provide a soothing reduction in inflammatory responses in joints and the digestive system. Recent studies have suggested that high EPA and DHA fish oil can stimulate immune function by increasing the concentration and activity of immune cells. Get your Ultimate Fish Oil today.
The only way our information gets out is when you spread it and when you support it by funding our operations, which are your operations, at InfoWarsStore.com.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
When he said today, America first, it was not just the racial, I should say racial, the Hitlerian background to it.
It was an America First committee. They were infiltrated by the Nazis. Many of them were anti-Semitic, part of why they weren't alarmed by Hitler's rise in Germany.
Outside of the Civil War, World War II, and including 9/11, this may be the most cataclysmic event the country's ever seen.
He's just disgusting to look at. He's obese. He's one of the repulsive, physically looking human beings I've ever seen.
Absolutely no morals, who's a bully, who acts like a bigot and a racist, and is a sexist and a sexual harasser.
The case for impeachment has never been stronger. The evidence never so riveting.
Are you suggesting that President Trump should face impeachment?
Another member of Congress wants him impeached.
There's growing talk, at least, about impeachment.
What is your case for impeachment?
The first day of public testimony in the impeachment inquiry, opening with a bombshell.
We got the bombshell.
A bombshell.
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 One bombshell after another.
Bombshell after bombshell.
We're bracing for potentially an explosive opening statement.
Explosive week.
Explosive testimony.
Explosive.
Truly explosive.
The most explosive thing.
This is a slow motion explosion.
How explosive? Very explosive.
And I think it will be explosive.
Wow. Donald Trump feels the walls closing in.
Really kind of the walls closing in on him.
Walls closing in on him. Walls closing in on him.
There is a non-trivial chance that if Donald Trump loses the election, he ends up
living out the rest of his days in prison.
But here's the question. Would you like to see President Trump in prison?
Do you want to see the president in prison? Do you think Trump could end up going to jail?
He could actually face jail time.
Donald Trump could end up in jail. In prison.
If he ends up in jail, so be it.
You are pathetic.
From a journalism point of view, Donald Trump is a brain-eating disease.
How stupid can you be? This president has radicalized so many more people than ISIS ever did.
His ignorance could pose a profound danger to every single person in this country and literally every inhabitant of the planet Earth.
No, we won't call them fascist comments. Fascism, fascist, xenophobic, racist, demagogic, sexist, autocratic. Donald Trump is a fascist.
Someone like a fascist or a tyrant or an autocrat.
Fascists. Hitler.
Adolf Hitler.
Hitler.
He could well be just an empty man, an empty human being with no soul.
Donald Trump blows Vladimir Putin like they are illegal immigrants hiding in Putin's and he's got to suck them all out.
In fact, the only thing your mouth is good for is being Vladimir Putin's holster.
You, Donald Trump, are a horrible, horrible human being.
He said, sir, excuse me, sir, you've just tested positive. I said, tested positive for what?
And is that a socialist or progressive perspective?
No. True international effort to pressure, isolate, and punish China.
Nobody thinks it makes any sense. Nobody.
Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys.
Trump versus Biden, 2020. ElectionNight.news.
InfoWars has been reporting on the dark, unpleasant truths of big government corruption for over 2 decades. It is why they attack us. And it is why we are now the most banned broadcast in the world. They blocked you from sharing banned.video on social media. So go to electionnight.news and share it like your lives depended on it. Go to electionnight.news and share now.
Well, the big day is here, November 3rd, 2020. Hands down the most important election in modern history, probably in world history. A referendum against globalism, against tyranny, and against our really corrupt, evil ruling class that believes this country shouldn't even exist. Tucker Carlson, when he said that last night, has never said words truer. So I'm driving over here to a local spot, one of these smaller places, to vote. If I won't wear a mask, the state law says I've got to drive around the back here, all part of this COVID theater, trying to keep folks from voting. And I'm going to vote straight Republican ticket, except now they don't have that on the
food.
They've changed it. We've got to go right down the line and vote on each person. I'm still going to be voting a straight Republican ticket. I would not vote for a Democrat if they had a gun to my head. They are now an un-American criminal party, literally sworn to end the nation and absorb us into world government as communist China is the model. Now, Joe Biden came out today and said what we thought he was going to do. He's going to declare himself the winner and have the media declare him the winner tonight. This is going to be very, very serious. If Trump contests it anyway, they're calling him a dictator. So this country's in great peril, and I normally can handle stress. I'm literally having an anxiety attack today over this. This is the country completely and totally and absolutely on the line. Hi, how you doing? Good, good, good. We're not doing the COVID theater deals. We like to vote out here.
Perfect.
Yes, thank you.
I never believed it'd be this much in jeopardy. We launched our campaign over on the Oval back in May 2019. But you know, what I said then, we've been through a lot since then.
Run!
The zombie apocalypse is real, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously, I'm joking around about a lot of this. This is deadly serious. Our country's been put into a form of soft martial law. And even if Trump tries to lift it, the corporations, the universities, the blue states, the blue cities are saying the lockdown never ends. This is siege against the country. Oh, communist China? Remember them? They're wide open for business because they had a draconian lockdown and then fixed the virus, which of course they didn't. It's all made up. But as the testing goes up, the number of COVID cases go up, but the deaths don't go up because they were putting the deaths of flu and pneumonia in the list. And I know you all know that. And all these scientists have come out, including Fauci.
Well, I still ain't met someone with COVID, so who knows whether it's real or not. I have no idea.
Spanish flu was bacterial pneumonia from the mask. Hi, how you doing? I am voting curbside. Thank you.
How you doing, Katie? What's up, Alan?
The one, the only.
Are you still on?
Yes, I am.
I need you to sign here. Okay, I accept.
That lady's a crooked.
I'm glad folks bucked the system, because they were making you wear a mask and go inside. But because people bucked it, now they do this outside. And notice we have to sign for this. We have to do this because Texas is trying to block the fraud that in at least 16 Democrat states, they just give driver's license to illegal aliens. Lines of them around the block, as you saw in New York earlier this year, and then they're allowed to go vote.
Crooked. Did you forget where you were?
We're going to be covering this live with 24-hour coverage at electionnight.news. That's the new URL because they blocked band.video on all the big platforms, starting with Twitter. And then they blocked 2020electioncenter.com we've had the last few months, but not before you spread it. And we were getting an extra 5-10 million views a day spreading the word because of you.
Spread the word.
Two InfoWars best-selling products in stocks have been sold out for months. BioTrue Selenium from the mustard seed, essential in all electrochemical activity in the cells in the body. That's every human activity. And on top of it, Body's ultimate turmeric formula with 95% humanoid. Leading competitors have 3 to 5%.
So,
the things that
this is the room
tell you
that I put together.
Strongest you're going to find.
Spin it around.
These are amazing products, and they fund the InfoWar, which is the 360 win. On top of it, despite the fact they're in demand, they've been sold out for months.
That
they're
is
both
my
50% off,
studio.
triple Patriot points, and free shipping at InfoWarsStore.com. That's BioTrue Selenium from the mustard seed. It's amazing. And on top of it, we also have Body's ultimate turmeric formula at InfoWarsStore.com. This sale will not last long. I want to thank you all for your support. We really need to try these products. People absolutely love them because they really, really work. InfoWarsStore.com.
My bed's on the other side.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now past midnight Central Time here in the InfoWars World Headquarters in Austin, Texas.
Here.
Owen Schroyer, Harrison Smith. We're going to be carrying the weight. Well, as long as it takes, I suppose.
Carrying the weight, is that W-E-I-G-H-T or
doing
W-A-I-T? Because we're doing both here.
It's double entendre.
I'm doing a lot of working.
Well, it's officially November 4th, and we have no results. We have no
doing my job.
Winner of the presidential
I'm
election.
working on this property. If I'm not working on this property,
hopeful. I am getting more angry, though.
I'm doing the job.
That's like earlier. I was quoting Breitbart. It's like,
yeah, it's not even, you watch the Young Turks meltdown from 2016. It goes from like, we got this in the bag, to like, oh my God, Trump won. It's like, I feel like I'm going through that, but not because Trump's going to lose. I still think he's going to win, and especially if the legitimate votes are counted and the fraud isn't permitted to go, I still think for sure Trump is going to win and deserves to win. But it's like just everything else that's coming through is so infuriating. Here's from Twitter Safety. Of course, Donald Trump tweeted out, "We are up big, but they're trying to steal the election. We will never let them do it. Votes cannot be cast after the polls are closed." Twitter Safety censored that, and they say,
"There's
we placed
another
a warning
room on
a
the
tweet from real Donald Trump for making a potentially misleading claim about an election. This action is in line with our civic integrity policy. More here." And it's just, I just tweeted out just saying, just jail. Just the word jail. Just send these scumbags to prison. And this is what I don't understand. These people have lied under oath. That is a crime. You can jail these people. And I'll tell you, if you put Jack Dorsey on mainstream television in handcuffs, Mark Zuckerberg makes a phone call and goes, hey, I don't want to get arrested. Why don't you fix all this up? I mean, they've got the billions of dollars. They own the islands. They have their massive compounds surrounded by walls. that's not going to help them a lot when they're sitting in a 10 by 10
how do we know if
cage,
these
right?
Facebook people,
This is what
Twitter
we need.
people,
Instead, what we
Google,
have are Republicans demanding to know why there isn't more
and
censorship.
YouTube
Democrats
CEOs
saying there's no such thing as
ain't done
right-wing
anything
censorship.
dirty to little kids
all
either.
a total fabrication. And Republican senators going, but why do you let Holocaust deniers on your platform? It's like, we are so screwed up as a country. I still think Trump is on the path to victory, and we'll bring you some of the latest numbers. But Twitter has censored President Trump, blatantly covered up his tweet. That being said, Trump is ahead in Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and North Carolina. But none of these have been called. Absolutely none of them have been called. Even Texas hasn't been called,
after the election,
the New York Times. Just a coincidence, I'm sure, that Trump is dominating in all of these, and not a single one has been called yet. What would you say, Hon?
You know what?
No.
Oh,
I mean, suck.
I was about to go to the baby.
Oh shit, we got a baby.
I have a gun.
We got a baby.
I have a gun and a really large knife.
Joe Biden said, we're gonna win Pennsylvania.
You are a sick.
We got a little baby.
Actually what's happening.
Imagine just this in your mind for 4 years, and this is what we face if they're allowed to get out to pull this out.
And you notice they haven't called Michigan or North Carolina. We're still making ballots there too.
Yeah, we've noticed that.
Everywhere. Everybody gets a ballot. You get a ballot. You guys are.
I know there are weapons in the studio somewhere. I need a melee weapon.
Plenty of weapons
at hand.
You're losing me.
We get a ballot. You get one.
Wow.
We get a ballot. You get one. Results aren't looking good, are they?
This is it. This is what we deal with.
This is it.
This is the Democrat Party.
I know, right? It's funny.
Are you proud of yourself? Are you proud of yourself?
If Alan has his phone, you guys can live stream me on my Facebook.
This is who will dominate us.
On the Newark Climb.
This is who will dominate us. If Biden wins, this is who will dominate us. This right here.
This, yeah. This metaphysically. This is the soul of the Democrats here haunting us.
Yeah. And they're censoring Trump. I see everyone on Twitter, they're like stunned. They're censoring the president. Oh my gosh, really? Who saw that coming?
Yeah, shocking.
So I knew they were going to censor Trump. Regardless.
We don't care about the Ayatollahs talking.
You know, that's actually the size they make the Biden-Harris shirts in. That's the normal size.
This is a large, extra large.
That's what they expect.
But I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy.
Where's your mask, Democrat?
Somebody just shoot me or shoot that.
Shoot 12.
What is your identity? Are you male or female?
Well, sometimes I'm a boy, sometimes I'm a girl. It doesn't matter.
How can you even vote?
Love is love.
There used to be a sword. It was like a short sword. It was around here, I swear.
This week, everybody gets to go to sleep. When you wake up, all the votes will be counted. It'll all be magic. And then Biden will come out going the winner. And then we have, after that, after Biden, died of COVID or something, we have President Kamala. She's going to step in. And she's going to make sure everybody goes to jail.
Lord. You have a pest removal? Calling the U.S. Marshal.
With security.
Where's your big Trump? Is he going to
security.
Speak? Where's Trump at? I don't
security.
see him anywhere. Did he get censored?
Where is Trump?
Has he been censored?
Oh my gosh. No, yes, Trump has been censored.
This is literally, metaphysically, this is what we're dealing with. Literally.
I need to call a nanny 911.
No. Keep this PG.
See, but this is it. This is actually the metaphysical thing too. See, because that's the Democrats. They're mentally ill babies we can't physically assault.
I have all the power.
Just beat him.
Well, I have to go fix some votes.
Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah, head over to Pennsylvania. Head over to Pennsylvania.
Everybody, don't worry about it.
You're gonna need to.
Don't think about it.
Yeah. is going to need to brew up about 1 million votes in Pennsylvania. By the way, all right, hopefully Democrat baby goes to sleep with Joe Biden. By the way, folks, President Trump is set to make a statement very soon, and we'll be carrying that live, and then Roger Stone will be joining us. Let me go over to the big board here real quick just to let you know what, yeah. I'll use this as my pointer here. No, I'm just kidding. Although that sword, if we had the sword, that would actually be something. So I think that this is what we're in store for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Based off of what they already wrote into law, essentially, which is not actually into law. They just make their own dictate. I think they're going to have to declare Wisconsin for Trump tonight, but they may want to hold that back. But it won't matter, because what they want to do is they want to hold over Georgia, they want to hold over North Carolina, they want to hold over Pennsylvania, and they want to hold over Michigan. And they've already said, at least in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, they've already said that they will not have the total votes until November 6th. So if you look at the Electoral College, oh, how convenient. If we happen to hold over and everything goes as it looks right here, and Biden wins Nevada and Arizona, and Trump wins Wisconsin, and we're sitting here waiting for Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Michigan till November 6th to count the mail-in ballots. Oh, how perfectly. They're both sitting there. Neither party has 270 to win, and we're waiting for mail-in ballots. Oh, I'm sure that that's not, suspicious at all. Oh, I have no reason to be afraid of mail-in ballots magically appearing overnight that should never even have counted to begin with. But that, I think that's what their plan is going to be. Now, we'll see what Trump says in a rebuttal of that. But Trump is up 300,000 in Michigan. It's 150,000 in Wisconsin. I think they'll declare Wisconsin for Trump tonight. I think they're going to hold over Michigan. They're going to hold over Pennsylvania. They've already announced. They're already holding over North Carolina. They haven't given us an update over there in hours. So they're obviously going to hold over that, or they're just going to wait and see what happens in these other states to announce. And then they're going to hold over Georgia as well, where Trump is up 300,000. And it'll be so perfect. And so let's say Biden wins Nevada, where he's trailing Trump right now, but those are early turn-ins. We don't have Las Vegas. So, but let's say Biden wins Arizona. Let's say Biden wins Nevada. You're going to have a situation where Biden's at 244 in the House. And if they hold over Michigan, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, Trump will be at 227. Biden will be at 244, and they'll say, see, Biden's the real winner, even though Trump is leading by over 1 million votes combined in Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. But that's their plan. I think they're going to hold over these 4 states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. They may, just to kind of, stop some of the controversy, they may announce one of these states for Trump tonight, Michigan or Georgia, just to kind of be like, okay, we're not totally stealing it from you. But I think this is their plan. I think this is their plan. They're going to hold over at least 3 of these 4 states, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, where Trump is winning. Any other election night, they've already declared him the winner, but not tonight. The Democrats are in for the big steal. So I think this is their plan, Harrison. I think they're going to hold these states over. They know that if they declared these for Trump, he wins tonight. They don't want to have that. So they're just going to delay this thing. They're probably concocting a bunch of mail-in ballots right now. They're drumming them up, as you said, drumming up the mail-in ballots. So Trump really should be the victor tonight at 294 in the Electoral College, and that's in a rigged election. But considering they're not going to give him Georgia, they're not going to give him North Carolina, they're not going to give him Pennsylvania, maybe they'll give him Michigan. I think they'll have to give him Wisconsin. But Harrison, I think that's their plan tonight. So we'll see what Trump has to say about this. I think he's well aware of it. They're now censoring the president on Twitter, just as we said they would, just as they said they would. And so we're just all sitting here, wait. It's, oh, hey, Trump won. Well, hold on a second. We're just going to wait, actually. We're just going to wait. I mean, can you imagine? This is like you're playing in the Super Bowl, and you win the game in the 4th quarter by 2 touchdowns, and then the league and the commissioner and the refs are like, head to the locker room. Yeah, head to the locker room. We're going to see what count. We'll maybe count them again. And then you're sitting in the locker room, and then the other opposing team comes on the field, scores 2 touchdowns and wins, and you're like, what? I wasn't even on the field. Oh, game over, sorry.
Yeah, or you know, to put an even finer point on it, it's like, you know, you contest, you challenge a call, and they're like, okay, we'll get back to you tomorrow. It's like, well, the game's almost over, so you got to come up with an answer here. You know, the Trump campaign was extremely angry, I guess, at Fox News for calling Arizona so early. Basically, no other network dared to do that, but Fox News, for some reason, called Arizona super early, and we're seeing the Biden lead in Arizona just absolutely tank as more and more votes come in. And of course, you know, we talk about it all the time here on InfoWars, but, you know, the presidency, hyper important, super important, and obviously more important now than ever before. But at the same time, you have stuff like this. Monica Worrell will be the next prosecutor of Orlando, and Jose Garza will be the next DA of Austin. These 2 progressive wins were expected tonight, but took tough wins in the primary. So, you know, these are people that, as on Twitter, Teddy Roosevelt points out, Garza expressed support for fully ending cash bail and not persecuting anybody with small amounts of heroin or meth. These are the same types of prosecutors like Kim Foxx, like others that have allowed the rioters to get out without any bail, eliminating bail, defunding the police. So, you know, even as we move towards victory here with Donald Trump, the cuts are continuing to slice into the American body as more and more, just on small scales, these local offices are going to be dominated by people who are not voted in on a basis of I will do this job best, but rather put me in this job and I will use whatever power you give me to destroy America and to continue just tearing down every semblance of civilization that we've ever enjoyed. Patrick Howley, at Howley Reporter on Twitter, says this: why are we being held hostage by counties declaring they won't finish their counting for long periods of time? And it's true. We're literally being held hostage. We would have had the answer. We would have had a winner of the presidency now, and not because they had to stop. They chose. People in Pennsylvania said, yeah, we're sleepy. We're a little tired.
Yeah,
we're going to go to bed.
What the hell is that?
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, you tell me, and in Georgia, they're blaming a water pipe bursting. They're saying a water pipe burst in a room where
someone goes down to the water pipe and, you know, hits it with a wrench a couple times. Oh, hey, can't count ballots anymore.
Yeah. Oh, where are we keeping the ballots? We're keeping them in that closet under the toilet. Yeah.
All right. Do we need to take a break real quick, guys? Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We're anticipating President Trump to give a statement soon. We'll have Roger Stone after that. We'll continue to watch Arizona, and we'll continue to monitor Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. Everything hinges on this, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back.
I would say that globalization is inevitable unless someone really moves in to stop it.
We have all agreed to pursue the Sustainable Development Goals to 2030. The fourth industrial revolution, particularly digital technology, has fundamentally changed the global economic landscape. Globalization is an inevitable and irreversible trend.
全球化这个势头是不可能。我觉得全球化的规则也在不断的完善。
We should not avoid challenges brought by the economic globalization. Instead, we should look directly at the gap of wealth and of development.
Well, the foundation can't achieve ambitious goals in global health without deep partnerships with the rich countries that provide most of the aid.
Everything that is broken today can be fixed. And every failure can be turned into a truly great success. We must replace the present policy of globalism, which has just taken so many jobs out of our communities and so much wealth out of our country, and replace it with a new policy of Americanism. America first. Remember that.
Now the world is awakening to globalism, and the forces of globalism are striking back in incredibly vicious ways.
I hope all of your children get raped and killed! You're a disgrace to society!
And then there's the 79 days of hell that I've been talking about that start the day of the election. The Democrats have openly said, first in internal statements, then in white papers, then in war-gamed operations, then in Democrat think tank statements, then in the New York Times 3 months ago, that they are going to contest, they know Trump's going to win, and that they're going to have Western states split off, tank the dollar in the stock market, have race riots nationwide as the cover, and try to drive President Trump from office. The big corporations, the banks, Hollywood, the Chi-Coms, the Democrats, all of these systems, along with radical Islam and communist China, are allied against us right now. We told you when they were in the secret phases that this was happening, but now they've prepared themselves. They prepared the public. That's why they flooded us with the 80 million ballots. A lot of people got 3 or 4 ballots, dead cats, dead dogs, dead people got them. So that even if Trump is winning by 3-4 points in battleground states and statistically has a majority, and you can see that there's a bunch of votes that haven't been cast, but still he'd win if all of those went Democrat, they're going to say, we don't care, they're all going to be counted. And they put out so many millions of fake ones that he may never be able to get to that number because they'll never be able to count enough of the ballots to give him that clear victory.
But the easiest thing for him to do is to stand up like a man and accept the results of an election of the American people. For him to make these kinds of statements shows his lack of patriotism.
I feel very confident that Joe Biden will be elected president on Tuesday, whatever the end count is, but on the election that occurs on Tuesday, he will be elected. On January 20th, he will be inaugurated president of the United States.
Now notice, that's not a slip. That's what she's been saying for months, that it doesn't matter what the election says, we're not going to accept it, and then we're going to have states secede, and then we will seat him geographically from another location, and that geography doesn't matter, the White House doesn't matter, it matters who they say the president is.
Up the fight.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live. Owen Schroyer, Harrison Smith, and big shout out, big ups to the InfoWars crew that is still with us here into the wee hours of the night. Don't forget to support us, support them by shopping at InfoWarsStore.com. Big ups to the crew for still being here. Numbers are finally coming in from Nevada. It does look like Joe Biden is going to cruise to a victory in Nevada. I'm hearing that Arizona, though, has a lot of uncounted ballots that they expect to be big in favor of Donald Trump. So we'll see if that comes to fruition or not. It could be consequential to Biden if Trump does win Arizona, but it would be more consequential, or it would be less consequential for Trump if Biden takes Arizona. So what we're looking at right now, ladies and gentlemen, still pretty much the same. A little nerve-wracking in Wisconsin right now. The gap is narrowing between Trump and Biden. It's just over 100,000 for Trump. Trump needs Wisconsin, and he needs it tonight. And Trump may be waiting for the results to be called in Wisconsin because that's what's going to push him where he needs to be to take 3 of the 4 states that he's currently leading in, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, where they've announced they're going to delay the results till potentially Wednesday. But, you know, sometimes, Harrison, I tend to forget that most people don't watch InfoWars, you know, and the censorship and everything, so they don't understand that we knew they were going to censor President Trump. They don't understand that we knew Pennsylvania was going to get stolen. They don't understand that we told you that the election specialist, or the guy that runs Fox's election coverage, is a Democrat, a Hillary Clinton donor. So Trump is pissed at Fox. He called them a super PAC for the Democrats tonight during a conference call with some of his top advisors. He's calling for people at Fox to be fired. Well, yeah, when you have a Democrat running their election show, what do you think is going to happen? Plus, they're part of the corrupt establishment outside of a few voices there. So people are really upset at Fox News tonight. They declared Arizona for Biden when somebody blinked an eye. but they won't give Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, or Wisconsin to Trump, even though he's been leading in those states for hours. And they were stunned. They were shocked, Harrison, when they saw that the president of the United States was censored by Twitter tonight. Again, even though they told you they would do it, we told you they would do it. And so this is pretty much where we're at to me right now. Guys, even I'd say you could potentially just put Georgia up there as well as a toss-up. So, I mean, really, you know what, though, Harrison? Isn't it pathetic, though? I mean, it just sucks. It's the ultimate black pill that Joe Biden, a decrepit, demented, corrupt child molester, is going to win the popular vote. Yeah. Our country is dead spiritually.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, even if Trump wins and we put a stop to everything right now, a stop to the immigration, a stop to the jobs going overseas, just a stop to all the things that are destroying us, we're still dead. We're still destroyed, right? The demographics are still on a downward slope. The economy still on a downward slope. China's still on the rise. And that's if we just put a stop. And so it's like, not only do we have to put a stop to this, we have to push back. We have to turn the tide. And this is the 11th hour. It's the last possibility for us to do so. And frankly, I've been pretty optimistic this whole evening. It's not until right now that I've started to get a little bit nervous as I start to add up the what ifs to the totals that we have now. And just as a quick overview, as of right now, according to the New York Times, Joseph Biden has 224 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 213. Now, the states that have yet to be called are Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Maine, North Carolina, and Georgia. Of these, Donald Trump leads in all but Nevada, Arizona, and Maine. Donald Trump is leading in all of the others, some by fairly comfortable margins, but they have yet to be called. Alaska hasn't been called either, but that's been called in other places, and it's all a pretty solid conservative. So, you know, that means that there's still enough up in the air for either one of these guys to end, and just the sheer corruption, the fraud that we've seen able to be carried out. You know, earlier Alex was talking about Tucker Carlson, and we played that extended Tucker Carlson clip, and there's a line in that has really resonated with me, especially when you brought up the fact that the person in charge of programming for Fox's election coverage is a Democrat. And there's this line that Tucker Carlson says where it's something like, you know, these elitist, these elitist and nepotistic scumbags that seem to run everything now. And it's like, when you think about it, it's like these people literally run everything. They're the conservative news station, that's run by Democrats. The big tech, that's run by Democrats. The corporations, completely run by Democrats. And, you know, it's not that the Democrats have a particular monopoly on like intelligent, capable people. It's corruption. It's nepotism. It's moving into a type of world that is an authoritarian world, whether it's Nazism or communism. It all operates the same way, in that what is the most important thing when considering any job application or any new movie script that comes across your desk is not whether it's actually whether somebody is actually capable of performing the job that they're being put in. It's, do they serve the system? Do they adhere to your ideology? Do they put forward the narrative? And, you know, I bring the example up all the time, but one of my favorite history books is called The Little History of the World, and it was written in the time of Nazi Germany, and they would not publish it, not because it said anything bad, not because it, was incorrect, but because it didn't do enough to uphold the Nazi standard of warmongering and celebrating physical conflict. And so they wouldn't publish it. And that's the world that we're moving into now, where you can have the best script, the best screenplay. It can be totally apolitical. It's not really conservative, but it's not about that. It's about, it has to serve the system. It can't just not be conservative. It has to be putting forward liberal ideals. And so it's been decades of this, where now, slowly but surely, all of these people have been pushed to the heads of corporations, the heads of political committees, the heads of just about everything, not because they're the best at what they do, but because they're being put there because they serve the system. The system feeds itself, it perpetuates itself, and that's how we're stuck with, as Tucker Carlson puts it, all of these elitist, coastal scumbags running literally everything, including the Fox News election coverage desk. It's really trouble, just beyond the election and the sort of dire straits we're in, where we're all sitting on pins and needles as the returns have ground to a halt pretty much. We're basically not seeing any of the numbers increase, at least not at a rate that's noticeable over many minutes. So we're just here waiting on the scumbags to commit their crimes, and we just have to shut up and be silent about it, or else Twitter will delete us. And it's like, so I'm reaching this point of desperation, not in the election solely, but just in the state of the nation, the state of the world. This is the last gasp, and no matter what happens tonight, our cities are literally filled with this human detritus, these just absolute scumbags who are literally rioting and just begging to have a collar fitted around them and to be slotted into their slave position in the globalist combine. And we've tried to save these people from themselves, but they're desperate to bring it about. So, who are we to fight against them? I don't know. I'm again, it's like the presidential race hasn't changed. I'm not more or less optimistic about that because we haven't seen new numbers in like 2 hours. So I'm still the same on that. But as we watch this footage, as I continue to watch the riots in Seattle and DC and LA and all over the country, as Twitter censors our president, as Fox News shows its true colors, it's just like, we still have a long road ahead of us. And I feel like we've kind of wasted the last 4 years because in a lot of ways we're simply in a lot worse position than we were 4 years ago. Because the Republicans, the people in charge, even the people that are at least semi-awake out there have done absolutely nothing to support our president, absolutely nothing to stop the illegal immigration, absolutely nothing to stop the literal communist insurrection that we see taking over America. So there you go. That's my little rant.
Well, it's just like how desperate do we have to get until, we clean up our act here. But I got some questions about Maricopa County in Phoenix, Arizona. This is some interesting stuff. You're going to have about a 500,000, it's about a 500,000 vote swing from 2016 to 2020 in favor of the Democrats in Maricopa County. Now, are you telling me that Biden was that convincing? Are you telling me Trump lost those votes? Are you telling me that Maricopa County is sexist? Are you telling me that that's how dumb American voters are? They just show up and pull the lever and they don't even think, they don't even know, they don't have a clue. That just is really odd to me, what we're seeing in Maricopa County, Phoenix, Arizona, that Trump won in 2016, almost 750,000 votes. Right now, Trump is at 680,000 votes, and Biden has over 800,000. And it's not even over yet. So you're looking at a 500,000 vote switch in Maricopa County, Arizona. That reeks to me of suspicious activity. That does not seem normal. Trump is doing relatively well in Nevada, but I don't think it's going to be enough to pull it out. So, like you said, though, Harrison, no real new numbers. It continues to sit at about 100,000 of an advantage in Wisconsin for Trump. Michigan, he's about 300,000 ahead. That continues to remain. Pennsylvania, still strongly 700,000 votes ahead there. North Carolina just quit giving numbers about 3 hours ago, so who knows what kind of shenanigans they're up to in North Carolina. We continue to get numbers coming in from Georgia that most recently actually expanded the president's margin of victory currently over Biden there, over 100,000. So again, the big states, it's all coming down to 5 states, really. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia. Trump is winning all of those states, but they won't announce. They won't announce the winner. I do expect them, I think they're going to have to call Wisconsin tonight. I think they're going to call, it may not be till like 3 a.m., but I think we'll know Wisconsin essentially tonight. And then it's going to be Michigan. They're going to be counting ballots till Wednesday. Pennsylvania, they're going to be counting ballots till who knows when. North Carolina, they just have an open-ended. They're just going to, who knows what they're doing in North Carolina. They saw Trump was set to have victory, so they just said, you know what, we're just going to stop counting, and we'll come back to you. And then in Georgia, you're still getting numbers coming in, over 90% reporting now. But they won't call Georgia for Trump. And I think they'll probably delay that till later this week as well.
Yeah, this might be a reason from Patrick Howley. Once again, technical limitations in DeKalb County, Georgia. They will resume counting at 11 a.m.
Oh, technical difficulties.
Yeah, those technical difficulties.
Oh, my gosh.
Darn it.
By the way, Jim Acosta is confused right now. He thinks he's been called to the White House for a conference, and then he was told he wasn't. Then he thought he was again. So Acosta's confused as usual, but I think everybody's waiting to see what the president is going to say. He said he would make a statement tonight. He got censored by Twitter tonight. He's, I'm sure, going to mention that. I'm sure he's going to mention the fact he's winning in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, but they won't call them for him. If they did, they'd have to declare him the victor. I mean, what do you say if you're the president at this point? I mean, how do you deliver this to the American people? He's already said they're stealing it, but I mean, what do you expect to hear from the president?
Well, I like what, let's see, Darren J. Beatty, who has been really on top of things in terms of the color revolution. He just had a good statement where he said, you know, basically, Trump should let all of these places like Georgia and Pennsylvania know that they're being watched, or else they'll just keep finding ballots forever. And yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Still waiting, this is according to Will Westcott on Twitter, still waiting on an estimated 3 million votes to be counted in Pennsylvania, and who knows when they'll be counted.
3 million! Oh!
I mean...
What votes? What are they talking about? What 3 million votes? Like, what? What 3 million votes? I'd like to know.
Yeah, I would too.
We've got 3 million votes we just found, and they're all for Biden. Are they mail-in ballots? Is it early voting? Well, that shouldn't be the case. If it's mail-in ballots, still shouldn't be the case. I mean, that is just, they are... I can't believe we're putting up with this. Again, folks, if you want to know who's behind the steal in Pennsylvania, his name is Joshua Shapiro. He's the Attorney General of Pennsylvania. He belongs in a jail cell, okay? There's your guy. You want to name the names? There's the guy. Attorney General, Pennsylvania, Shapiro, lock him up. In fact, President Trump should even say his name tonight. Yeah, here's Bev Harris, an election expert. Let me read 2 statements that she has just put out. Reminders: 1, interim results can be published as often as every few minutes. 2, number of mail-in ballots sent versus received and number counted so far is a known quantity at any point in any time. If you get number 1 and number 2, you can find which locations can be called at any point in time. Many can be. The point is, when told we cannot know results for days or weeks, that is untrue. All systems can produce interim count by candidate and total number counted, and election officials can provide number of ballots sent, received, and if those counted so far, so do it. But
they can also just count them.
But that's what I was going to say. I mean, what?
They can also just count the ballots.
Okay, we've got 3 million. I mean, who knows if that number's right? But let's say, okay, we've got 3 million ballots in Pennsylvania, or 3 ballots. Okay, so what? You have the ballots. Why aren't they being counted? What do you mean? Oh, we got the ballots. We'll count them later. We'll count them now.
It's so absurd. And yeah, it looks like just under 5 million votes have been counted so far, and that's 68% of the estimated votes reported. So 3 million sounds about right. And
we haven't had an update. We have not had an update. Oh, they're going to steal this, man. They're going to steal Pennsylvania.
No, they absolutely just stopped updating any numbers. I mean, that's why. I mean, I only really started getting nervous when they sent Biden out to say we're about to win. And then you had some other outlets on the left basically repeating that and going, yeah, Trump, Biden victory, we got this wrapped up. And it's like, okay, what do they know that we don't? Because that would be a humiliating thing if, you know, he came out and said that and then was wrong the next day. You know, what do they know? Say it again.
Oh, here's Josh Shapiro, that dirtbag that I was just telling you. He says, if all the votes are added up in Pennsylvania, Trump is going to lose. Oh, how do you know that? Because you're cheating? That's why he's working overtime to subtract as many voters as possible from this process. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. That literally is a statement that makes no sense. For the record, he's 0-6 against us in court. We've protected voting rights. Now ignore the noise. Vote. No, you've destroyed voting rights. I want Josh Shapiro arrested immediately.
Tell me if this makes any sense at all. From Kayla McKinney. Currently, President Trump is winning the Rust Belt states by enormous margins compared to 2016. Listen to the margin differences, and I'll round off to make it easier to understand. And this is not with everybody reporting. Wisconsin 77% reporting, Michigan 61, Pennsylvania 66. Just listen to these margins that he's winning by 2016 versus 2020. In 2016, he won Wisconsin by 22,000 votes, almost 23,000. In 2020, he's now winning by 104,000. That's almost a 5-time gain, multiple of 5 gain. Michigan, in 2016, he won by 10,700. Now he's winning by almost 300,000. That's like a 30 percentage gain. That's incredible. And then Pennsylvania, he went from a margin of 44,000 to this year, 2020, a margin of almost 700,000 votes. So tell me, how does he multiply his margins of victory by 30 times or by even more in the case of Pennsylvania, and he still hasn't won? I mean,
He has. They're just not announcing it. And who knows what they're doing in North Carolina and Pennsylvania. Those are the 2 states to watch. I don't think they're going to be able to deny him Georgia and Wisconsin or Michigan. I think they're going to have to announce those tonight. I mean, but Pennsylvania and North Carolina are going to be stolen, and they're in the process of stealing them right now. Right as we speak right now. And they may even be trying in Georgia, too, with their technical difficulties. This is ridiculous. And President Trump needs to make a statement soon. He needs to make a statement soon because guess what? America is going to go to bed soon. So he needs to make a statement before people start falling asleep and then tune out of this forever. Because most Americans are going to go to bed and forget about this election tomorrow. I mean, they voted for Biden, so they're half retarded to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, my God, it's really shocking.
All right, well, I'm back. Well, fuck you, Biden.
After 4 years, the Russian collusion.
See, that's what I don't get. Look at that.
Literally trying to impeach
what is
Trump
going
for something
on
that
there?
Joe Biden did. Like, you would think something would pierce through, some glimmer of reality would pierce the veil of deception that the Democrats have laid over the eyes of the American people, but I guess they're just blind. I mean, I don't know. I either gotta believe that there's just massive cheating going on underneath the surface, but even if that's
I'm
just
closing
the case,
out here in a minute.
So
only got
much
one
of what
view.
we're seeing is just because of cheating. All that means is that we've got
Probably
infiltrators
wake up
in our
really
country
early in the
undermining
morning.
our electoral process.
I'm calling
and our
bullshit on the
judiciary
Joe
and our legal
Biden though. I
system
don't give
is
a
so
fuck.
infected and infested with these people that there's nothing we can do to stop them because the law is toothless and impotent when faced with blatant corruption, illegality, crime. I mean, it's literally on tape and nothing is being done about it.
Yeah.
Kyle Rittenhouse is still in prison on a $3 million bail for
Two?
murder. I mean,
3? I thought it was 2.
This is just
They
crazy.
raised the bail again
Trump
because
should
he
have
probably
been
made the money.
winner tonight with 279 in the Electoral College. He's won Wisconsin, he's won Michigan, he's won Pennsylvania, he's won Georgia. They just won't announce it. North Carolina is like on a razor's edge right now. It could go either way. Trump is leading, but
it's been at 95% for 3 hours.
I'm telling you, they just shut it off. Yeah, they shut it off. They're going to wait. They're probably loading the ballots right now in Fayetteville, where they do have most of them in Fayetteville now, but still only 91%. So, I mean, this is just incredible. I can't believe. And again, the president has to speak soon. He can't. He has to come out and make a statement soon because America is just. I mean, we're just sitting here like.
2 is about to be 2 a.m. on the East Coast. I see a lot of people on Twitter saying, "Yeah, I'm going to bed. Yeah, that's enough for me." So yeah, he needs to make a statement quickly. Of course, he made that statement, and we haven't heard too much about it. We don't know how soon that statement will come or what he'll be saying. Now, I feel like I remember in 2016. I don't think we really found out.
213 for Trump, 224. So it is going
2 or
up.
3 in the morning, right?
I told you this is going no different than 2016.
Trump came out and gave his victory speech. But, at this point in the night in 2016, it was pretty well understood that Trump was the winner and everybody agreed. But now, North Carolina's just sort of stopped counting votes. Pennsylvania's just stopped counting votes. Michigan and Wisconsin, also, I don't see gains in those either. So at least Arizona and Nevada are still actually producing results. The other ones seem to have just decided to take a little nap.
Because the other ones are trying to cheat.
Once all the new
trying to
ballots
load the
arrived.
ballots.
But Nevada and Arizona most likely are going to be inconsequential. So, again, folks, on any other election night, Trump would have already been declared the victor. They're holding Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina and Georgia hostage. Trump is winning every single one of those states right now. And as Harrison just went over the numbers, a higher margin of victory than he had in 2016. So, and as far as I can tell, the returns have stopped in all of those states. So now we're just waiting on Trump. The picture's been set, folks, for tonight. The picture's been set. They're not going to declare a winner. And you're going to have to wait for Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. Even though Trump won them, you're going to have to wait because that's just what we do. They just run our lives. Fake news. And I guess the Democrats or whoever the hell is behind this, like Josh Shapiro in Pennsylvania and Whitmer in Michigan. But Trump has to come out and say something because at this point they're done counting votes. They're not going to make any other announcements tonight. So now we're just waiting on the president to make a statement.
So here's the newest from DeKalb County, Georgia. They say that, quote, due to technology limitations, the precinct numbers reported 0 out of 191 until votes from all precincts were uploaded and tabulated, working diligently to compile all votes, and will continue processing absentee ballots at 11 a.m. Wednesday.
Yeah, we just stop.
Yeah, we knew they were going to do this. They've literally told us this, and that's the thing, right? It's like, people are shocked that they're censoring President Trump. They're shocked that it hasn't ended tonight. I'm annoyed because, they don't even have a reason to. They literally just stopped counting because Trump was winning. Absolutely infuriating. But, we did know this was going to happen. Like, we told you this was going to happen, not because we have some sort of secret insight, but because if you just read what they say they're going to do, this was always the plan. It was always the plan.
It was always the plan to cheat.
Keep
Democrats.
Election results from coming out election night, and then